The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, here at highvibe.tv for your weekly Deep Love Tarot going into this week of September 9th through the 15th of 2019. I'm here with Craig in the house at highvibe.tv. What's going on, Craig?
What up? What up, everybody? It's great to be back. It's great to be here with you. It's great to be here with you, Mr. Palmer, as well.
I know, it's 9/9/19.
You know, people were saying, I bet he's going to bring that up.
And, you know, they probably were. You know, I said it in Deep Astrology, and I just want to say thanks to everybody for making Deep Astrology. We had a lot of views on Deep Astrology.
Yeah,
but there's
40,000, you said?
Yeah, it was over 41,000. It was,
Damn.
you know.
A lot of woke-ass people
We're kind of getting back on track.
We're getting it.
I just want to say to everybody, before we go into this reading this week, we're doing a lot of cool changes at High Vibe. We just did a whole new structure for your sun sign weekly horoscopes, which of course go deeper than I can just do with the tarot. So you might want to check that out at highvibe.tv. And I have a new sale going on for readings right now because I am ending readings. But when I say that, I'm just tripling my rates and only going to do pretty much an exclusive reading for those that just like really need it, because I need the time to be able to be working on content and really growing events here at High Vibe, finding new talent, adding new energy. We're going to be doing tours, events. We're going to be working on some other projects. I'm working on a documentary, so I have to clear that schedule. And so you might want to check this out, because it looks like as we're all turning the page in our life that readings are going to be something I'm phasing out. So what I've done is I've given a 15% discount. Go to theleoking.com, and I would book now, and it's my last time. I'm doing 30-minute readings as well. So also the school. This is something that it took a couple years to build, especially when it came to doing astrology and really teaching people the fundamental basics all the way to the most advanced, how to do it yourself. I am hands-on with you, just like how I do deep astrology in my old studio with multiple cameras, screen sharing, the whole 9 yards. Check it out, all those courses, plus my new course that's on High Vibe, which is my e-commerce spiritual business development, if you want to really take your business to another level and actually make it real. If you're looking to make supplemental income to actually creating this as your full-time career, definitely check it all out. It's a package deal. It's over a $1,900 situation that is now at $600. So check it out now. It's like, I don't even know, Craig, it's like almost 50 plus hours of videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of content in there.
It's insane. So
content.
Check that out, and then check out High Vibe. And we're happy to be back here with you all today. Now, if you've never watched the show before, this is where we go deep into the tarot. And I just realized that I don't know if we brought the Astro.
Ooh, let me get those for you.
Craig will get those while I talk to you. So if you've never watched the show, we're going to go deep into your love this week. And we're going to be going into the collective first. We use 4 different decks. And what's cool about it too is we also have a solo cup with all of the different things. Do we have the dice?
Yes, sir, we do.
All right. And we have Astro dice that we use too. So if you've never watched the show, we don't go by sign. We go by what the universe does.
What did I roll?
You rolled Virgo, and then I didn't see the other things.
Well, there we go.
So look at, you were doing service. You're doing good service,
That's what
pure
I'm here
service
for.
right there.
That is what I'm here for.
That's, you know, you're here for a lot more in this world than just service in life.
That's true. I do enjoy myself.
Yeah, Craig likes to enjoy himself. But I love these readings. We have a good time, and I miss having, we weren't here last week because it was Labor Day, and you know, we're typical Americans that'll take Labor Day off. So I'm happy to be back. I'm sure you're happy to be back, Craig.
I am happy to be back. I'm feeling quite refreshed. Had a blast in Denver, so I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, we ready to roll. So we're going to start with the collective first, see what's going on with the collective. Let's just have a good time with this. So,
I want to mention
all right.
emails real quick before we get
Oh,
going.
that's right. Okay, so we had a couple questions that were sent in, but right now, if you have a question about your sun sign, what's going on in love, but it has to be about your sign, and I would not get into your planets, just what's your love question going on or a love situation in your life, email right now and I'll answer it, deeplovetarot@gmail.com. We take the one that seems to be the best, so it better be a really good question. You got to kind of, it's a little bit of a competition here if you didn't know. So we already have one for Leo, I think, but maybe another Leo has a better one. So whatever sign I'm about to do the collective, you've got the next couple minutes here. Send a quick email to that email, deeplovetarot@gmail.com, and Craig and I are going to go through the question live. And we usually don't ever tell the name of the person. We just say the question, so don't worry, it's confidential.
Correct. We keep it secretive over
All
here.
right, collective energy. What's going on with collective and love? Full moon week, by the way, everybody. Holy moly. Woo! Who's ready for a full moon in Pisces? I think I'm ready for a full moon in Pisces. I want to say a little astrology too, as we are shifting a camera here real quick. Mars square Jupiter all week? This is going to be a weird one, folks, but I think it's going to be cool too. You know, don't be afraid to open doors. Also, push doors open, but not too hard, but don't not push doors open. It's very weird. But, you know, we can be, you know, overconfidence can be too much too. I think that this is a time to really just be confident in, I'm going with the motion of life. I'm a human being, and there's a lot of possibilities. And what doors make sense, I need to really look at and walk in. And if I'm walking down this road, and even it doesn't matter how long the road has been, Jupiter's trying to remember, this is the last Jupiter with Mars squaring it while Jupiter's in its home sign. This is it for 12 years, folks. So definitely this is your moment where you can't be afraid to look indoors. This is a full moon in Pisces. This is Jupiter starting to square Neptune. This is going to be a full moon that is kicking off so much of what I've been bringing up about all these fated relationships. You can feel it. It's coming to its pinnacle. Mercury and Venus are coming into Libra this weekend. It's going to be a big deal. We'll talk about it on Deep Astrology. And of course, go to High Vibe and watch your horoscopes because they're badass. I went the extra mile, and we're going more miles when it comes to delivering you content on highvibe.tv. All right. Full moon collective reading for love this week. First card that we got is the Sun card upright. Thank God. I got to say that, this is definitely aligning with our soul's love and happiness and what brings us the brightest and what resonates with us and who we are internally the most. When it comes to love, I don't want to say it's like a mirror reflection, but there is a sense of it being like a mirror reflection. Come on, when you're in like love and you feel it, it's like we feel like we are on the same page, we are on the same energy, the same vibe, like, woo! And it should just feel that way. And this week, that's what's showing up. Follow that road. Now, there's going to be a lot of options with Jupiter around that show you that. So you do have to kind of go investigate that and see. You got to do the data. So don't be afraid to do that since the sun is in Virgo this week during this collective. And we did pull the sun card in the Astro deck for the Black Moon Astrology card. So, that's a pretty big deal. Also, it is spirit. What is spiritually aligned for you in your true soul and your true nature? And in, Rider Waite or any of the old, more older tarot, the sun card is a really lively, positive, and good energy of conscious state and understanding the conscious state of what you're getting into in relationships. And for those that are coupled, this is a big choice. Is this really still on the same spirit and alignment or not? Is it still got that fire in that place? Can you bring that? And if you can't, you can't. If you can, how wonderful. challenge that we pulled this week, and oh, by the way, I'm using the Enchanted Spell Oracle as the challenge. Intellect. Okay, so the challenge is, are we making the right choice? Are we making, like our mind is our issue. And I think that, a lot of this is overthinking a lot of things or making the intellectual choice of the heart. Sorry to say, folks, just because I have kids or just because we've been together so long or just because, well, I'll give this person a chance even though they're, slamming fucking heroin and I'm like, not really vibing with that vibe. It's like, you need to think. You need to go with the soul energy. You can't just be doing things anymore because it just like logically or intellectually in yourself, you're deceived. Especially in this card, there's a fish and we have a full moon in Pisces. If you're thinking from this kind of mental state, especially with Mercury this week, at the tail end of Virgo, then coming into Libra, where it gets, kind of, it's trying to weigh a lot out on Venus. Mercury and Venus coming together this week. Go off something different. Go off soul. Don't go off mind. Our overall is a Temperance card reversed. This is definitely reminding us, one, if you feel like you are impatient right now, like, relax. It is all coming together fast this week. Temperance card reversed, so is fast. But you also have to get maybe off your old schedules, your old way of doing things. I think that this is us kind of like, what's formed in our romantic lives and stuff to this point hasn't worked the way we want it to, and we need to reform a different way, and it's going to come fast. It's almost like a volcano or earthquake or something, because Temperance card is always with the earth building and how long it takes. It's kind of like evolution. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like this is a fast, intense, not slow, intense, like bam, and getting you out of kind of a state of reality that you've been in, and getting you out of a state of where you've been in your love life this week really quick. So intellectually, that might be difficult to understand because you're like, this is too fast. Well, this is a Mars square Jupiter. This is a Sun card coming in Virgo, in a full moon this week at peak with Jupiter and Neptune. Like this is taking us to fantasy lands fast. In our spiritual advice, we got the home card. What feels like home? This might be, I think, the hardest part, but the best part at the same time. There's going to be a lot of energy that is in common with us. There's going to be a lot of energy that intellectually makes sense, but could really make us go the wrong road, especially as if really it's really not in our alignment of our schedule in our life and where we want to go. It's the home. What really feels like you could see yourself being in your home life with, that you could create emotional stability and emotional, that deep, like, yes, like this is exactly where I want to be. This feels like me and it feels like home. If it doesn't feel like that, then it could like really resonate with you and really look like, yeah, this is exactly what I want. But if that home feeling doesn't feel there, and the astro dice that we got for this week we got Mars, believe it or not, with Cancer. That's a falled position of Mars in the 7th house. Wow. So this is going to be cutting out a lot of relationships that are emotionally not connected to us emotionally and home. But also this is forging forward very intensely emotionally into relationships at the same time. There's going to be kind of a dualistic nature here of cutting and, what would be a better word of opposite of cutting, like sewing together.
Or just like a removal of energy.
Well, yeah, removal, but then what would be like then the opposite of removal? Like integration? Exactly. I like sewing. We're going to be sewing some emotions deeply. Deep. What is it when you double sew, or you double line it, or double I don't Dutch. Know. Huh?
Little double Dutch?
Little double Dutch action. I know we don't have the videos up this week to throw up, but I was about to say throw up the who for double Dutch, but that might get a little funky, but we don't have the video to throw up anyway. But you can just imagine in your head, double Dutch it. Oh my God.
We got a whole mess of emails, by the way.
All right,
I'm
wonderful.
Trying to get through them, but there is a shitload.
There's a button. There's a button.
There's lots of emails. Next time email before the show starts.
Well, yeah. Now people will know that since they're watching. It seems like I think we do have a lot of people in here. that, please email us whenever you get this show, before the show. But, we're going to get to those emails. Don't worry. We're going to pick some people. So, all right, let's see what we're going to be picking here out of the solo deck. Or the solo deck. Man, I'm out of it. I'm going to be honest. I'm out of it. This energy has just been all wee-hoo. That was a weird. We've been having so many moon void off course that it's really weird. All this energy hits hard and then moon void off course. And then it's kind of like you're just drifting. Like, what the fuck? Like, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn are drifting. Like, even though the story seems like it's a great journey down the river, like, how many hours do you think that they were just sitting there whittling on some fucking wheat, like stick, or I don't know, wheat chafe. I don't know what you call that shit. Toothpick. We'll just call it toothpick. I guess, if you have a porch right now and you live in the middle of somewhere and you got a porch, moon void off courses are beautiful for porch life. And hanging out with that little toothpick and just fucking looking out, that's moon void off course. So you get really intense. It's almost like going into a horror show or a fucking action movie or like crazy wild ride in life and then going on a porch and drinking lemonade. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's how crazy life is right now. We're in Moon in Aquarius, by the way, to start this week off. And it's going with Uranus, so it's not void off course anymore. It's like, bam, bam, change, wow, bam, electric connection, let's go, find something the best, yeah, bam. This is going to be crazy. Crazy week. We got Cancers first. Cancer. Remember, this is for your rising or your sun or your moon. You can apply it for both. But again, if you're really good with astrology, apply it with your moon and understand, what house it's in, what it's going through, and yada, yada, yada. You can take my school for that at High Vibe. You can go to leoking.com or even highvibe.tv and look up school. It's on the front page as well here. All right. We'll wait for Craigie. Do we have any Cancer questions?
That's a good question in itself. Let me check. There's literally, I don't even know.
I mean, I could help you.
I literally think we got like 100 emails in the last.
Well, let's take a look. I will help you. Oh,
Here we go.
Oh, you got it? How about I'll be on the chat with people?
All right, we have a question from Cancer.
All right, let's take that Cancer question.
Alrighty. I've had 3 men come through my life quickly these past few months. Each one seems to be a better version than the last. The last one seemed perfect. Most intense connection that she has ever felt. Then poof, he was gone in a month. No explanation. Should she just shelve this romance thing and focus on something else, or should she fight for it? I added that last portion, but.
So she's had 3 guys, but then
3 amazing men came into the life, bam, and they were gone. What's up with that for this Cancer?
all 3?
So I guess so.
Don't give up. I mean, I think that this is one just like showing you that it's possible. And maybe they didn't respect what you need on a deeper level, which is the commitment aspect. So maybe they showed you that it's possible. Don't lose hope. Like, this is a full moon in Cancer, or for the Cancers, this full moon in Pisces is about hope. It's about believing again. So you got to believe, but you have to like maybe make adjustments in your life, and maybe you need to set some of your ground rules. This is where Saturn and Pluto are in Capricorn, right? This is your relationship life. So you need to like set what the rules are, set what you are expected to want in your relationships. Now, that's why Cancers can kind of get the whole needy thing, but if you do it in a proper way, like, hey, this is just like, I want this because I like you, and if you like me, like, I want to know where we're at. Like, are you leaving? Are you staying? Maybe I've noticed this with a lot of Cancers. They don't put out right now some sort of communication of like what exactly is going on. So then they get all emotional and weird. So did they really leave? What did they leave? Did they leave a relationship? No, probably not. From the way this sounds, just like seems like you were just technically hooking up and having fun, but there was no definition of what it was. So did they really leave? They just moved on to maybe hanging out with other people, and you didn't set any derivative of what this was. So you got to have conversations. You got to have some sort of talks. And that's going to require anybody coming to a Cancer to be like, hey, I have to show up in this way in order to be with you. If I'm not ready for that, then they're just going to back away, and then you're not going to have to deal with this kind of shit no more.
Yeah, hopefully she got some free dinners or something out of it.
Like that one chick when Tinder first started, you remember that? She was like in New York and she admitted, she's like, yeah, I got free dinners and haven't had to pay for shit for like 2 years.
Yeah, girls got to eat, so.
People got to eat. No, I think that, she'll be fine. Don't lose hope. This is, I think, opening a door that's beautiful for you. If you've seen this great energy, remember, there's plenty of fish out there in the sea. Holy moly.
Big doors are opening. I think a lot of energetic ties are closing off, and I think we're stepping into a new light, which is going to be quite beautiful.
I agree with that one. So don't even trip on this one. Just learn to maybe, don't be creepball, like you're going to scare somebody away by like setting too many rules at the moment, but like have some like questions. Like, okay, if it's a second date, like how are you feeling about this? Like, do you want to pursue this more? Like, are you dating other people? Like, okay, if you are, like, maybe let's continue seeing each other until maybe like, you're ready to maybe just kind of single out on me. Where is that line for you? What are you feeling? I'm open to hearing what you have to say to create rules together. Not even call them rules, but like an understanding of a definition of what this thing is. That's the problem going on with Cancers. First card for Cancer this week is the Neptune card. So a delusion, but there's a sacrifice, right? So like this woman just went through, there is a little bit of sacrifice and love, but Neptune is like, well, what is spiritual for you? Don't do toxic things. Don't be in toxic, relationships or going into the past. This is not about going into the past relationships. This is about moving into new territory. Neptune's in your 9th house. So this is about new places, new energies that are taking you to better spiritual places, but are you self-sabotaging? One thing about Neptune is it likes to self-sabotage. So are you self-sabotaging going forward by staying in something trapped or by continuing to hold the past? So self-sabotage is by holding the past or by staying in a situation you're stuck in that no longer is of a higher spiritual realm. It's like we're all about freaking high vibe here. Like, think about it. Are you staying at this vibration or are you willing to come up to these higher vibes in life? If you're going to stay here and you're expecting it to change and it's not, this week, by sacrificing this position, you are moving up higher in your life. Your challenge this week is the clarity card. So yeah, it might be very hard for you to have clarity on what that looks like, especially when you have a Neptune right at the beginning of this. So you're in a very big fog. Maybe you're very unclear with the romantic relationship this week that you're starting, or maybe you're in a partnership that it's gotten to a very weird place of the clarity and the dream and the energy of the positivity and the hopes of what you had gained. But I think that, it's going to be hard for you to find clarity if you're still connected to this sensitive, very deep space or this belief that you had. I think that you also have to look at your beliefs from the past and how, you were. And I think that you need to look at the truth. Like, what happened in the past? What have you're in a past situation all over again, as far as like somebody from the past is either trying to come back, or if you've been in a relationship, you're coming back to a place you were before that you thought you had gotten over. And you guys have already been through this before, like either you've cheated on them before and now you're thinking about cheating on them again, or they cheated on you before and now you're feeling like they're about to do that again and the clarity's not there. So, this is kind of crazy a little bit. You did pull the Lovers card, wow, right after that. So, on the other side of this clarity that it's going to be hard for you to get and define, and by getting out of past situations and letting go, if you've been in a relationship that was not on the most pure spiritual up and up ever, let it go. If you're single and you're trying to go back to the past, you don't have clarity, this Lovers card is with true happiness and true love in yourself. Then you can find somebody on that same level. You're only going to get the level of happiness at the level that you're really at and the level that somebody else is at. And this is where you need to pay attention to the most, especially when, you got spiritual cleansing. There is you having to clear a lot out with your life that you can't have the love that you want till you cleanse. There is so much about cleansing, having this Neptune and having the spiritual cleansing, and that you're unclear. It's because you have a bunch of tar on the windshield and you need to clean this thing off. And there's past stuff that, sorry to say, there's cracks in the windshield in the past that, get Safe Light, Quick Light Repair, Like, replace the freaking windshield. You're not gonna be able to, like, you know, I think, like, fix this thing. I think that this is about, like, do you want to continue to hold on, like, the memories of that fight, the memories of that betrayal in yourself or them or both? Like, this is where a lot of past stuff's coming up, and it's trying to lead you to the ultimate love. You pulled the Lover's card out of everybody. Come on. Love is trying to find your way, but, like, are you self-sabotaging it, and are you not doing your own spiritual cleansing, and you're just toxically throwing out the same shit back into your life? Your astro dice this week is, you did pull the 9th house, you pulled Aries, and you pulled the Jupiter die. So this is definitely you having to define your own identity, explore a new, fresh start. Aries is always a fresh start, a new definition of what you want. Explore what you want and the beliefs of what you want, and explore that. Like, believe you can have what you want. This is all about expansion. This is all about going to places you've never been before. And this is where this full moon is, the 9th house for you. And how ironic you pulled the 9th house, but with Aries and Jupiter. And Jupiter is all in its dignity in the 9th house. And Jupiter does love Aries, because it definitely gets what it wants. It's the first time that Jupiter comes into a fire sign after it comes home, after its full revolution. So this is a big time. And Aries for you is, you know, your 10th house, making bigger decisions about your career, your long-term goals, by going into new places that you've never been before and exploring them, instead of continuing doing the past patterns and the old shit all the time.
Yeah, I really touched on the one where you're saying, you know, you're kind of limiting yourself or blaming yourself almost, and restrictions in moving forward. I mean, I definitely am guilty of doing that, which I think most people are, where you kind of blame yourself for past situations that happened when in fact it has nothing to do with you, and they would have screwed you over regardless. So it's good to just kind of forget it and move on. I'm working through that, but sometimes you're forced in those situations, and it's good. And you can see actually the beauty that you are.
Yeah, you know, this weekend I had an old friend, a healer, come up to me and, like, looked at me and was like, "You're not doing well." And that's not always, like, easy to hear, especially from a healer and one you trust, because, you know, you've met them before. So it's not like some random person on the street coming up and being like, "You're not doing well. Like, let me fix you. Let me charge you money." Like, he really was like, he's very sincere. He's going to be here after dark tomorrow, Sujan. And anyway, it was interesting because I had to look really deep inside. And he was like, "Gosh, you got all these cords here, right here to your, like, my, you know, my sacral chakra, like, just completely, my solar plexus and everything was just, like, just garbled up. And it was messing with my throat chakra. I don't know if you guys have noticed recently that I've had to clear my throat a lot lately and shit. And I was thinking maybe because I smoke, but I really am down to, like, 2 cigarettes a day, and then I'm on just, you know, and the whole vape thing's another thing. By the way, go look up the reports. It looks like it's THC, not freaking these, by the way. So,
and I think it's just the THC ones where people are, like, making bootleg ones in their garage. So if you are going to get that shit, spend the extra money and just go get it from a dispensary. Yeah,
it's this knockoff, like, cheap shit, and they just don't know what they're doing, you know? So anyway, I had a lot of cords attached, guilt still, old situations, people pulling on me, people, you know, trying to connect into the space to me. And so we did a big cord rip and and there was another great woman. I don't know who she is, actually. I need to remember. She hit me up on Facebook, and she did a cleansing on me. And I was like, wow, you know, a lot of cords have been pulling on me. And anyway, I think that, you know, right now we have to, like, really cut just all these cords that we're just no longer done. We're just not going to do anything that doesn't feel right. Or if we're being told, like, you know, you need to be this way, or, like, this, you're not a good person because you are this way, or anything like that. Like, you know what? You got to, like, put yourself into a place, because love is like when somebody that supports you 100% for however you are, whatever you do, whatever you're like, and so you can step into your power, and they're in their power, and it's like happiness and love and fun, and, you know, dying of laughter and crying with laughter. And you can't do that when you have all these weird cords in the past, and if you're still trying to fucking look back at your ex and shit on your phone and on their social media, like, fuck that.
That's why you just have friends do it for you.
Yeah, and you find out some fucking crazy shit.
No, but I'm a true believer. Like, as long as you're not screwing people over in this life, you should really do whatever's going to make you happy. You should go out and do it. As long as you're not screwing people over, go do it. 100%.
I'm a 100% believer in that one too, because their friends will find out and tell you. So, fucking. All right, let's move on. So, there are no chords there. Fucking, Leo, fuck, all right. I guess I'm going. We have Leo, I think we do have Leo question, actually.
Guarantee we do.
Guaranteed. Leo's always like, all right, I'm gonna fucking put a question. I remember back when I was on Soul Garden. By the way, I haven't talked to you in a while, Chris. Chris Witecki, he's my soul brother in astrology. And I started on Soul Garden. But when I was on Soul Garden back in the day, and, I was like the Leo, person. I forgot what I was, like Leo ambassador or something. So I'd get lots of questions and answer all the Leos. This is like 2009. And Leos always were just like willing to ask a million questions. Other signs were kind of not. So there's got to be a Leo question.
Yes. Yeah, so this woman just has, she needs to know just how to surrender, basically. She's tired. She feels like she's beat down. But she doesn't know how to fully give herself to the universe, is what it seems like.
For love?
She's looking for some advice, yeah. Just like kind of how to maybe let what she's looking for come to her. I don't know. I felt like it could help a lot of people, though. Like, how do you tap into the universe and actually let it come to you?
This is easy.
It's easy, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up.
So
take notes.
Number one, we were just talking about cutting cords. So a lot of times we think, well, I'm surrendered. Like, I've cut everything off and I'm just sitting here waiting and nothing's showing up. No, you're usually still going after something, always. It's like the things that you're still trying to go after that maybe you don't feel like are resonating with you, or they're not going right now romantically, or that you're still projecting out and maybe what you want. It's that moment when you finally kind of say, you know what, I'm like not gonna do this. Or you set your ground, you're like, you know what, I'm not even gonna look at that energy anymore. I'm not gonna look at this anymore. Because when you're in that place of surrender, most of the time, most people are like this. They might be surrendered, right? But they might be at the same time kind of like this, like, well, is it here? Is it here? It's kind of like when you're waiting for somebody to come to your house and you're just sitting and you're like, are they here? You're not surrendered. You keep putting energy on that. So it's like, instead of like, they're going to come whenever they come. Go do, especially if you're Leo, go do your hair or something. Go listen to music. Just go be happy. Go be you. And it's so funny when you are so disconnected from, surrender means you're not even aware of what you've surrendered because you have surrendered completely and you have completely let it go. So you're not even looking at anything in that area, if that makes sense anymore. And it's in that moment when you're in a whole other space and you're actually in a good space that it's like fucking the universe just goes, oh, nowhere, surprise, here you go, what the fuck? Oh, it showed up? Oh, thank God. Fucking, it's like if you're sitting there looking at the tracking on your Amazon package 24/7, guess what? That motherfucker's gonna be late, or there's gonna be a problem, or it's not gonna come at the time you want. But it's when you're just like, yeah, I know the Amazon package is coming on fucking Tuesday. It's like, okay, fucking, you know what? Guess what? That motherfucker just shows up. Oh, it came fucking right on time. I was just walking in the door and the guy's here. All right, I'll sign right now. Bam. Easy. All right, Leos. Oh man, I pulled a million cards. Mercury. So, what's exciting, Leo? What brings you value and makes you feel like you've got some sort of connection to friendship too? Because Mercury rules the 2nd and the 11th houses for Leos. So it's interesting that Mercury this week too is in a pretty positive position and it's connecting with Venus. And a lot of this too is your own values and what you find value in the world. Would you walk the red carpet with this person? That's a big deal. I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again, especially with this card. Value, your own self-worth, but putting your own values first. This is an important week for you to think about your own stuff, your own values, the things you want to create, and the environment that you want to be when Mercury comes into into Libra. And it's going to be a big week for Leos in good love aspects if you're also speaking up You know, like, and making communication that you need to make up, like, that you need to say, like, I have to say this, or I need to reach out to you. What do you got to lose? If you throw something out there and you surrender to it and it doesn't come back at you, it's like, okay, you threw out your bait, the fish didn't take it, reel it up and put some new bait on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no big deal. Keep setting, don't look at what you lost, look at what's still to gain. Shit, I'm gonna get another fish. I'm using an old analogy. I know people are like weird about fishing. And by the way, thanks for that $100 as well. That's always so nice of you. I really appreciate that.
Dude's on fire. He's in all the time.
He is on fire, you know? Like, yeah. Pramanic Astrology Channel, PRA.
Dear David, universe loves you. We pray for your higher God and greatest growth, sending you high vibes, love, and peace.
Thank you, brother.
What a nice gentleman.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and I don't want to sound like I'm discrediting him. I've been reading in a flow. This isn't so important for Leos to know that you can have anything you want, and it's going to show up this week for love. But is that person willing to be part of society with you? Is that person willing to be part of the things that you have a value or not? That's going to be the big question. And do you resonate with their qualities of society and their energies? And is there stimulation? Is there a good communication aspect? If there's not, it's not going to be fun at all. Happiness is the challenge. So I think that it's going to be difficult because, one, you're looking for the end-all, be-all, ultimate happiness before even reaching it. It's like, be in the happiness now, and then the happiness will be there in love. So if you're in a relationship right now and it's not happy, find your own happiness right now. This is a challenge, I know, but that's going to either A, come to the conclusion that the relationship's over, and you'll actually be happy, because if you're not happy in it, then it's over. Or if you're not in a relationship, or you're still in that relationship, and maybe you need to get back into your own happiness and your own stimulation and your own creation again, and then you're back in a good place, and then the relationship will turn out good. Because usually being a Leo in a relationship, we're the ones kind of in control as far as like how the happiness goes. Let's just be real. So like, you know, it's like our fucking issues are causing problems in the relationships every single time. You know what I mean? Like, so I think a lot of it is like, the challenge is stop looking externally for the happiness and looking back into your own world, into your own mind, into your own self, into your own simulation, into what you're creating. And the Fool card upright. This is about go have fun and go play and go be a human being again. That's just natural. You're not stupid to just be like, you know, it's kind of contradicting the Fool and Mercury. Mercury wants to figure out the world, and the Fool's just like, I'm here. I don't know why, but I'm just here and I'm having a good time, like playing around with the dog and playing around in this one. It's got a little bit of like a drum for music. I think that, you know, it's like go just have fun and stimulation and the happiness that you can find inside instead of the external happiness. And it will show up in such amazing ways. The Fool is a great card because it is our original part of the journey. We are on the Fool's journey. This week, it's okay if you're like dumb in love. Maybe you've made mistakes in love this week that make no sense. Maybe you make a fool of yourself, but it actually is what makes them fall in love with you. It's a lot of it of just being you and being happy in yourself and watching how that attracts into you. And that's the message that you communicate, is from yourself, from who you are. And if that person doesn't resonate and that person, or if you're in a relationship, doesn't, then you know what? You're no fool. It's like, okay, well, I'm not happy here. I tried, I got into my happiness, I'm showing you it, and they still don't resonate. Then you know that there's something off there. But usually, it'll be you. And typically, if it's been going on a long time and you're not happy still, like, I don't know any Leo that's in that space after all the shit that's gone on, astrologically speaking. And this is the time for Leos to find ultimate happiness. So it's like ultimate happiness is hard to find, trust me. Now, Leos, we're used to it, and we definitely live it every day. But it's like, we have this upper echelon of happiness that we're like, well, it's still not happy enough. Like Disneyland's still not happy enough. Like, you know, like, so maybe that might be a challenge to have this ultimate. Maybe learning to accept happiness and where it is and watch it grow instantly quick by being the Fool and being like, I'm not analyzing anymore what the happiness looks like. I'm just in the happiness and watching it turn into the ultimate happiness without even knowing it, by just being in it. And overall, the release, you know what? We're released, you know what? The past and a lot of the things that happened or over. So cut that shit out. You're unhappy from what happened in the past. Cut out the past. Cut out anybody or anything that's also trying to take you down, release it. Anybody that's trying to stab you energetically, anybody that's trying to, be a spider on you or suck from you or take from you, just, you got to cut it off. This is like a tick trying to come in energetically to take away your happiness. Like, fuck that. And you can be your own, like, fucking parasite yourself. So clear out your own energetic parasite, not fucking parasites, literally, but your own self-sabotaging parasitic energy that comes from you not valuing yourself, from you not stepping back into your own creative, enjoyable, happy, fun self. 5th house sun, oh shit, in Taurus, self-worth, baby. You know what's the best for love, and you know what? This is pheromones. People are like, what the fuck? Like, this is pheromones. Taurus is about scent, smell, touch, feel, taste. In the 5th house of enjoyment and playfulness. Like, you know what you like. If that, you know what? Energy that's going to feel energetically dead is not going to taste good. It's not going to look good. It's not going to feel good. And you know what? You will know that. Sun in Taurus knows that. In the 5th house, Sun in Taurus is like, this is not fun. This does not feel fun. And you know what? 5th house Taurus, this is very Leo Taurus. You're talking to a Leo sun rising with a freaking Taurus moon. It better be just yes, oh my God. Like, love tastes better than any meal in the world. Trust me on that one. And if it doesn't feel that way, then that energy is like, get the fuck out. Like, like release it. Like, and you can see that, and don't go into something that you already know doesn't have that or doesn't own that in themselves or has that self-worth issue, because you are taking on other people's self-worth issues right now, Leo, and you got to cut that shit off, because you are fucking king and queen, baby. If they ain't fucking that on their own life, sorry, you can go join the blacksmiths and the fucking sewers or whatever. I know that sounds fucking horrible, but that's just the fucking truth. Love you all, though.
It's interesting that you brought up a tick, because it's actually very similar. Removing a tick and removing those energetic cords. If you just straight pull a tick out, you can't do that because you leave the head in there. You got to actually work it. You got to twist it. A lot of people think that when they're doing that energy work and trying to cut those cords, you can just basically just like one shot and just like, boom, it's removed. It's not going to work. It takes time. You got to kind of be gentle with it. You got to work it out. You got to twist it out. You can't just pull that shit and think that it's going to be gone, or else it's going to stay in there. It's going to fest. It's going to get infected. You'll end up with Lyme disease. It's going to be no good. Same thing with those energetic cords. You just think you're just going to yank them out. There's still going to be pieces that are going to be stuck inside there. They're going to regrow. You're going to have to do that work all again. So take your time. Do the process of actually removing them correctly, and it'll be a good start.
I just wrote in the chat, I'm like, gross. It's like, it is sucky when you pull out anything, a tit, a big old zit that like gets off the wall. Like alien babies. Anything that you pull out. Ugh. But once it's gone, you feel great. There's nothing better than like removing a fucking cyst from your fucking face. I remember when I had never really had like acne, but I'd just get like one or two big zits. And then we always came around prom or the dances. And I remember
you're getting nervous.
You're
getting some stress.
That's what it was. It was nerves. It was always wanting to be like, oh, this is the moment. I took too seriously the moment of the dance way before it was there, instead of just like showing up and being like, oh, it's dance day, fucking let me get my tux. And then, God bless my mom. She was such a great mom. She'd go get the corsage for me, because I'd be like, I don't like going to the flower stores, Mom. Like, this is so lame. So my mom would like come back with the corsage. I'd be like, oh, thanks, Mom. And you get and picked up my tux? Thanks. And thank you, Mom. Like, fuck. But anyway, anytime I went to the dances, I'd always have a big zit. And then I'd be like, what do I do, Mom? And Mom would be like, here. And she'd put like a dab of like some sort of like makeup I don't even know on me. And then it would kind of go away. But I remember one time I just kept picking at that motherfucker. And this is what I'm bringing up about what you just brought up. When you keep picking at something fucking that's gross, that's in you, and it's already out. That's the worst. Have you ever done that? Everybody's done that. Everybody's picked at something that's fucking already out. Am I right?
You would be right.
And it always goes bad. It always looks even worse. And it's like, why do we keep picking at shit? Because we think that somehow miraculously we can dig deeper and find more. When it's not right, and this is for general all people and all signs, not just Leos. Fucking stop picking at something that you know is gross and it's already out. Why? You're just digging a deeper hole for something out for longer to heal. We pick at our own fucking wounds way too much. Why do you think we like to pick at our own scabs? When I have scabs now, I'm just like, fuck it, it's a scab. And it goes away way quicker. I mean, I'll admit, when it gets to the kind of end, I'm like, oh yeah, it looks healed, like, but
I always pull that scab off a little too soon.
I always pull that scab off too.
It feels good.
We're all, you know what, we're all fucking cryptic, weird human beings. Yeah. We all fucking love it, and you know it.
Well, we pick ourselves apart too, as well.
Hey, I'm just being real. And then it bleeds, and there's a little cryptic like you like it. Sag. Until you go out in public. Sagittarius. The Sages are in the house. Do we have any Sag questions? Thank you, everybody. We got a lot of fucking peeps up in this room. Holy shit. I just saw the bottom card. I want to bring that card up. You guys ever do that? See, one thing in tarot is I always believe, like, I don't look at the deck when I shuffle. I'm always looking up into the ethers and connecting with my guides, or I'm looking into the camera and you think I'm looking at you, but I'm really looking beyond you and I'm looking into the ethers and I'm looking to guides. Ah.
We have no Sagittarius question this
All right,
evening.
no Sag questions, so we're going to go straight into the reading.
Snooze, you lose.
You snooze, you lose, Sages. They're all out there fucking chasing something right now. All right, Sag. Pluto, transformation, uh-oh. Well, I think this is good. Number one, there's a lot of things that are coming to an end right now and need to be reformed in love and a new beginning. And whether that's, this is a lot of endings. I just feel like this is you finally cutting off. This is more than is it. This is more than this. This is amputation. You know? This is the trailer leaving the truck. This is the trash being taken out. Pluto, remember, is in Capricorn in your second house of things that you value so deeply. My precious. Like the ring, you know? Like my precious. Whenever anybody took that ring, right? They put it on, they turned into a fucking monster. And there's a part of you that has turned into this hidden monster of like, I can't let this go in this relationship, or I'm too obsessed. Guess what? It's time. It's time. And also, if you're not in a relationship and you have nothing, it's because that you have held on to some sort of value system that just makes no fucking sense that nobody's gonna fucking even show up for. And you know this, Sag, because the truth is that you're just barren and alone. So, and you're attached to old emotional situations with Neptune and Pisces. And that's what the full moon is. And this full moon is about these weird emotional situations that you're tied, deeply connected to, these things that are just obsessive and not really good anymore. Your challenge card that you got is the rebirthing card. Holy mother of you know who. Won't even say it. To get rebirth with Pluto transformation, holy cow, Sag. It's time for you to just totally rebirth into something new. You hide a lot. I'm just going to be honest. You hide shit. You're still deeply connected to some sort of past situation. You want something new to start? Well, you want your life to go the direction you want? You got to do the full cut. You got to do the full amputation. Like, there's a part of you that's still hoping. You are Jupiter in your sign, square Neptune right now, emotionally hoping that you get what you want emotionally in a situation that you've held on to for way too long. And this is that you got to end it. Even if you are single, you're still, maybe you fucking still have a poster up or your background on your phone or hidden pictures in your iPhone of your ex that you still look at and maybe even go play around with yourself with looking at those pictures in your head of the, I can't let that in because I'm, either A, I'm broken up and or I have this. It's like, let somebody fucking in. Like, what, if you're single and you have nobody, like, why aren't you letting anybody in? Why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're busy, you're at work, you have a kid, you have anything. Like, what's the fucking deal? Like, even if they just fucking meet you outside, like, what is the fucking deal? Like, everybody has these unwritten laws that they just keep living like by. It's like, what happened to just like being a kid? What happened to being a kid? This is where Chiron is. Your wound is in your 5th house. You don't know how to be a kid again. You have all these weird fucking things about love. Like, no, I'm in this because I'm emotionally okay or safe, or I'm just gonna, you know, wait till I have the right time or whatever. Like, when I was a kid, I remember fucking my girlfriend would like sneak out of her house. You know what I mean? Like, I'd sneak out of my house. Like, fucking, you know, you just like do shit like to fucking connect. Like, why are you not in that space of what you really want to let in your life, but you're fucking holding yourself back into shit that you don't want? It's like, come on. You did pull the Knight of Wands reversed. So yeah, you're not going forward truly enough into the love that you want. You're almost still going backwards in a way. So you really want all this good things forward, but there's still something that you don't know how to turn around and champion in a new direction. And a lot of that is like a new direction, a new powerful direction, a new direction that is going to make you feel good. This is being attached to old battles that you're trying to fix, of old happiness, old things that really are not of honor, that didn't honor you and don't honor you. The truth is you are not being honored from past old situations that you're afraid to end and fully rebirth. And that honor is of your true happiness and your true heart. And you're not allowing it in, the new shit, at all. Or you're too demanding on how you want it to come in. And it has to be like on your terms. It has to be the right moment. And it's almost like you're setting it up kind of like a business. Like, okay, like if this person comes in at this point and at this time, it'll be perfect. It's like, well, there's no such thing as perfect. Like, remember that when it comes to love and when it comes to joy and when it comes to happiness, it does not come like, literally, if we just said the word come, we'll even go there. Coming just does not happen like as if it's a fucking machine, like a come machine. Like, just come. Like, no, like, yeah, sure, you can do that, but like, there's something about, you can't guess the time, the moment, the whatever. It's all an emotional and the right thing, and bam! I know I just went there, but like, if you're expecting this in your relationship life, but it's more like you're in a prison where it's like you're a machine, like, what the fuck are you doing? And you got the time, and it actually was reversed, but I will put it up right for you, but you know what? You are wasting too much time on rebirthing your life. And a lot of self-worth issues appear. Your physical body, what you look like. You know, I'm saying that because Pluto is in your 2nd house of your physical appearance. And so you want it to be presented perfectly. It's almost like you present yourself on social media a certain way. You present yourself to others. You want to be ready for the right moment when you can look in the right lighting and the right this and at the right environment and the right dress or suit on or whatever. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, if they can't accept you for how you are now, that means you don't know how to accept yourself for how you are now, and you've taken way too much time in rebirthing that process alone, let alone the process of still not willing to end something that is fucking terrible for your life, and still having an invisible or still physical, because it isn't Capricorn, but either or, they're very connected though. You'll see in different ways of what I just brought up in both different directions, that you haven't fucking let go of yet. And you gotta fucking, you gotta do that shit. And you got Sagittarius in the 7th house with the moon. You gotta look beyond to new relationships. You gotta look into new adventures emotionally. You need to expand your emotions about relationships, and you need to look at the ultimate truth. And you need to create new beliefs, and you need to look at all the facts, but you need to say, well, where are these facts going? Because the problem is you have the facts, but you're not going anywhere with them. We'll just end it there. I know that was very Plutonian, but they did pull Pluto.
It needed to be said. I wanted to touch on Divine Infinite Love Tarot Healer, which she said that she was dating a Sag, and she feels like she's done a lot of work to cut the cords, but they haven't. She still feels it. You know, that's definitely going to happen. You can only do the work yourself. I had to do a lot of work. This wonderful woman named Susan Dentino. I mean, this may be a thing, but she had me saying, you know, you say the name, I release you with love and light. I'm going to keep my energy. You keep yours as you're blocking theirs from coming in, and you're wiping those cords. You're brushing them off. So try that. I had to do it a fuckload of times, but it eventually works.
Say my name, say my name. Exactly. I don't know why that just came to me. But again,
exactly.
Maybe don't play that song on repeat. Susan Dentino is awesome, by the way. I miss her.
Yeah, I love that woman.
That was like over a year ago.
Memory popped up.
Actually, it was today. A memory. The Info Radio people here exactly a year ago today.
Yeah.
I know. Gemini. That's so funny that you saw that too. I saw that. I was like tripping out this morning. I'm like, fucking, that was a year ago?
Feels a lot has changed over these last 12 months.
Dude, a year ago? That was not a fun time, by the way. I don't. Do you like? It was not Earth, Wind, and Fire September, if that makes sense. Like, didn't feel like that. This September kind of is. At first, I didn't think so, but now it kind of is sort. Maybe it's a little Earth, Wind, and Fire September.
I think again, if you've been doing the work and again, you're being honest and authentic to yourself, you're not screwing people over. I think you're going to be sitting pretty. But for all those other people that
I was thinking about getting Gemini tattooed on my nose.
We can hook you up with a little nose job. We're out here, Newport.
I just have had so many Gemini loves in my life. Like, it's just like too much. Maybe I'm done with the Geminis forever. Like, I don't know. All right.
Apparently I have Elizabeth Taylor eyes.
Do we have, oh, you do?
Do I? I don't know. Must be a good thing.
Take it.
I'll take it.
I don't know. I get Freddie Mercury all the time. It's not the greatest fucking thing in my life. And they go, without the teeth. And I'm like, well, thanks.
Freddie was a talented soul.
Yeah, he was, but looked like a fucking Cro-Magnon, man. We have Gemini questions. I like Freddie Mercury, but sorry, I don't like being called Freddie Mercury. Like, and you know what? I like Freddie Mercury, but you know why I don't like him? Is that he created the name Freddie Mercury off astrology, but didn't believe in it. That is fact. He did not believe in astrology, and he used astrology as his name. So, fucking fake. Sorry. Like his music, love Queen, talented as fuck. But he also had some weird shady shit, and that was shady, along with his love life was shady. And that's all I gotta say. I'm just dropping fucking truth bombs today.
And on that note, we have no Gemini question.
Wow, look at the Gemini and Sages. They are lost in something. I bet you any sign right now with no fucking question is gonna have a fucking gnarly reading. I'm just gonna fucking say it right now. Let's see right now. What's up with Gemini? Pisces, I believe. Oh, this is a full moon in Pisces. Gemini's gonna be hit hard on this one, but I think that this is good. Pisces is forgiving. You need to forgive yourself, number one, Gemini, about you are realizing all the choices that you've made that have been not good. Because this is a full moon in 10th house. 10th house are the choices we make in our destiny. And you are going to be living with your destiny now. But you're going to have to believe in something much more beautiful came from it. And destiny and the universe is a very confusing thing. But I think that at the same time when it comes to love, like, you do need to be more clear on your objectives and what you're trying to achieve in love, but also at the same time with Pisces being in your 10th house and just even in love in general, like, it's like you're at a really weird release point here and you're also in a very confusing time. Pisces is very confusing and you have to try and believe your way through from the dark to the light. So you're in a very transitional week. There's a darkness but a light coming in this full moon this weekend, in this love life this week, but there's something about the choices you made. You're going to have to own that choice that you made this week and deal with the emotional issues that are coming about that because they were projected emotionally about security and safety. There's a bunch of energy in Virgo opposing this moon in Pisces in your 10th, squaring Jupiter in your 7th house relationship. So this is pretty gnarly. Fertility is the challenge. So it's almost like you don't feel like you can grow something great in love right now, or that there's stunted growth. Or, I think that this is also kind of not feeling at your most greatest, most powerful position when it comes to love, Gemini, this week. I think that, you are also kind of challenged in realizing whatever, maybe if you just got into something, like, is it really as, fertile is like soil. Like, does it have all the nutrients I really want? Or am I totally in Pisces world right now? Like I am projecting that it's fertile, but it's not there. It'd be like, if his tubes are tied and he had a vasectomy, and you think that you're going to get pregnant and be the Virgin fucking Mary, sorry. Maybe the milkman, but not him or her or whatever. If she's got her tubes tied. There's something about, there's a little bit of lost, but you also know that there's no nutrients there. And I think that's the nutrients in yourself that you have in many ways somehow not found in this emotional foundational work that's going on right now with Mars square Jupiter. This is relationship stuff emotionally that has really got to be reassessed, relooked at, and that you have to put a lot of work in emotionally to even be able to own and have or stay in the relationships that you're in right now, that it's not fertile. And if you're trying to have a baby right now and you're not having it, if you're a woman, he ain't the one. There's a sign that this week, sorry to say, he ain't the one. There's not enough love there. 1. 2, if you're trying to build something in a relationship this week and it's not going the right direction, guess what? That's not the one. You're gonna have to use this challenge of the fertility of whether it grows into greatness and has the nutrients, and if it doesn't, sorry, there's the truth, and don't believe your own bullshit. And actually, believe it or not, shit is in fertilizer. And if you're believing that there is bullshit when there is no bullshit, which actually you need the bullshit to create the fertilization. That might not make fucking sense, but somebody might somewhere out there understand that. But that you're believing there is fertilization of shit in there when really you're bullshitting yourself, because there is no shit in there and you actually need the shit right now.
Yeah, you got to tread through the waste to actually have that growth needed.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a lot of weird, because it's 10th house and there's Neptune here, and this is Pisces and Lilith and shit, there's a lot about dealing with choices that have been made in the past that are affecting where you're at today. You did pull the Page of Pentacles reversed. So, I mean, this kind of goes with the fertility thing. This is unable to really, this is difficulties moving forward right now. And there's a lot of things in the past of your self-worth, things that were done. Again, more things from the past. And I think that a lot of this is if you really feel that something new is here this week, that's going to take you to a new place or something like that, it's not. You still have to do a lot of past work. You have to clear the past. You have to do some apologies. You promised something, or you did something, or you were in a place where you were like, I'll show up. It's like you did not pay your debt. Page of Pentacles reversed. Like you did not pay your debt, your soul debt, your spiritual debt. This is you reneged on the loan, you didn't. And so there's something that that makes you feel guilty when the creditors are after you this week energetically and you feel deprived. Well, guess what? Why didn't you show up of your authentic true self? Why did you bail? Why did you do that? You have to forgive yourself, and you're going to have to allow others to, but nobody can forgive you if you can't forgive yourself, and you can't as well go back and come back to at least understanding and showing the issues that you have about what you have entangled yourself into a place where you thought was so beautiful, but it really is not. It's showing itself this week. With a Page of Coins on the other side of this Pisces, the reality is not matching the fantasy, and the challenge of the fertilization is there is no fertile energy there. Your overall card is a full moon. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm telling you, if you guys don't have a fucking question, it's not looking good for you this week. Full moon in Pisces on the fertilization, you're at a point to, this is again, Pisces, old decisions, past decisions that have altered your destiny and your reality, past choices, things that you did not show up with fully, or you put somebody down. Page of Coins, you know, is supposed to deliver a message of good news of, you know, whether that's money or self-worth, or you're coming through with the project, or you're coming through with the supplies. You didn't come through. There's something about, and somebody else is not coming through either as well. But it's about how you handle that. And it's about this full moon bringing up a lot of freaking intense stuff about, you know, you're really trying to build and grow something right now, but no, you have to learn to release first, and you have to learn to be clear in your own illusions, and you got to learn how to deal with karma. There's something about Geminis that have ran away from karma for a long time. Uranus is now in Taurus. So karma is gonna go talk to your local Taurus. They just went through fucking the gnarliest karma transit, and you're now in it. And Saturn comes into Aquarius next year. And in 2021, it starts squaring Uranus. And that's not gonna be a fun transit in your 9th house to your 12th. Like, the future is going to be decided about the lessons you've learned up until now, and are you going to keep repeating these, or are you going to get out of these old cycles? Because Saturn square Uranus will wreck you in that karmic field of opening up positive doors, but showing a lot of hardship. And I think I'm looking in the future deeply for you all because of this Pisces that popped up. And I'm tapping in, and my guides just want to let all Geminis know this, that this Jupiter square Neptune, by the way, is coming to its close in the next 2 weeks. And this is the third pass, and we will never see it in their home signs again, in your relationship house, in your career house, in your decisions of karmic defined path. Guess what? How are you going to be on the karmic defined path of your relationships if you have an issue with being open, honest, and more importantly, the toxic and the emotional situations and issues and sensitivities of bailing out or not showing up fully that this Page of Coins and the Virgo energy is teaching you with your emotions and how you deal with your emotions. And, oh, we've got dice. Neptune in Taurus in the 7th. Wow, so much 7th house has been popping up. But yeah, this is having to clear old values, clear what has been set in stone. Neptune can not Plutonian, like, destroy the concrete, but Neptune can wash the concrete. Neptune can also deceive and put another layer on top of, like, I'll be honest, right? When I was like in my 20s, and I'm sure Craig, we all like young guys, we do this more. Like, if a chick was coming over back in the day,
just yet.
Well, let's see. So if a chick was coming over and your place wasn't fully clean, you just like throw shit under the bed. And then you would like put, if it was like in the kitchen and there was some stuff, I just put it on the rug, you know, like, and then like, boom, like, okay, whatever, it looks good. And, oh, you have such a clean place. And then fucking when they leave, it's like, fucking, oh yeah, 2 weeks later you're vacuuming.
Put the dishes in the oven.
You know what I mean? Dishes in the oven, you know what I mean? Like, but there's something about this week, hey, you can't be doing that no more, Gemini, with relationships. Like, there's something about needing to really like do the cleaning work. And especially Taurus is your 12th house. This is some double 12th house, 7th house shit. This is dealing with past karmic relationship stuff that you are working through. And it's right in your face right now, this week, before you can move forward. You got to deal with it. And you got to deal with the repercussions of what has happened and what you have sown karmically. This is I got to pull a Ganesha card for Geminis, because how funny I had the Gemini thing all over my nose before this. And I'm not talking to any of my old Geminis, by the way. Fucking, I'm just talking to the cards. Some people might fucking think that's shit.
What does Ganesha have in store for us today?
I don't know. Ganesha trips me out. Positive outlook. That, you know, there's a positive outlook to this all, and I think that you have to stay into that positive outlook. And you need to see that by doing the karmic work, by doing what is right, by doing what is positive, will bring you always a good outlook. But if you just think you can just sweep everything under the rug and just be like, well, I fucked up, whatever, without some sort of actual reality changing, and if you're not showing up for what you had promised in a lot of situations, and you really are a dodger energetically, or you hit people and then don't really care spiritually of what those repercussions are, there's something that's, you know, like, not going to be positive. But the positive outlook is all you have to do is do the work. Ganesha will open all the doors for you when you do the positive in its outlook. Well, what is it's out and it's looking outwardly, so that means that it's still outside positively, but inside it's not. That's the work that has to be done right now to get the positive outlook. You're trying to do more positive outlook stuff than inside work, and that's the issue.
So you spoke a lot about karma in that one. I got a question. What about for those that were born during a Venus retrograde? Because doesn't that have to do with karmic cycles with relationships?
Yes, one. Depends on which.
Tell me about myself, Mr. Palmer.
All right, so everybody wants a little. Well, Craig wants it, but everybody's probably interested in Venus retrograde stuff. And guess what? Guess where Venus is retrograding in 2020? Gemini. Which, by the way, the last time, and I had a conversation. I forgot with who. Man, I'm talking to too many fucking people. Oh, I was with Thomas last night. The last time Venus retrograded in Gemini was 2012, May into June of 2012. And there was a Venus eclipse. That's right, folks. There was a 2004 Venus eclipse, and there was a 2012 Venus eclipse. Because the Venus eclipse comes every 120 some odd years, where Venus, you can actually see it cross the sun. I wore the glasses, and I watched motherfucking Venus cross the sun. You can go look it up online. There's video of it, but it won't come around for another 120 years. Okay? That was karmic. And why do you think that the Mayans used Venus? And Venus did its last, retrograde, definitely Cassini right in front of the fucking sun that you could see eclipses, ecliptic. It was an ecliptic eclipse of Venus. That was the Mayans and why they did that. So I want to say that we have not been back here to understand that while Venus is going to come back at the same time, May and June of 2012, or 2020, sorry. Every 8 years, Venus is going to retrograde back where it did. So 2010 was Venus retrograde in Scorpio, okay? Why did you think in 2018 it was Venus retrograde in Scorpio? Now, Craig over here was born in 1986, so you just minus eight years. 2010, you get to 2002. That was Venus retrograde in Scorpio. You get to 1994, Venus retrograde in Scorpio. You get to 1986, Venus retrograde in Scorpio. So Venus retrogrades last for about 40 days. So it doesn't matter if you have Venus retrograde, or you have to know what day in the cycle you were. So one, if you're on the first, if you were born on the first day of Venus retrograde and your progress chart at about 39, 40 years old, you'll get out of your weird clearing of past life karmic situations and relationships. If you were halfway through the transit, about 20 years old, you'll be done with it. You'll be like, okay, and then Venus, when it comes back to its original place, especially its natal Venus in a progression chart, it'll be like a completion moment that you've completed the whole karma. It really depends on the chart. But yeah, there is a lot of things that happen, especially if you have like South Node, or if you have any karmic, like Saturn aspects to that Venus retrograde. But Venus retrogrades are definitely dealing with an inner authority of how to deal with relationships more than the outer. It's like there is something about the inner that has to be reworked and retooled until you can see the outer work out. So it's a constant inner work in Scorpio, for example, of trust, of commitment, and choosing exactly how to be happy within oneself, of your own desires, and also, Scorpio Venus is not its favorite place. It's a detriment. So there's problems there because it's like it's connected too much to something that maybe is not on the same desire. So there's a feeling of Venus retrograde people, and especially in Scorpio, that people are never on the same desired length in a romantic relationship. Like, I'm into you, but you're not into me fully. There's always that feeling because there's something inside that you have to realize, like, if that is not there, why am I still trying? It's about learning to go, nope, and being a Scorpio and just, pull out and wait till the right energy is. Because the longer you sit there, the more karma that it's going to take. It's going to, and like you have to learn to express your inner truth fully. When Venus is retrograde, it's hard. It's like, it's the feminine energy. It's the goddess. The goddess is repressed. And the goddess is the feminine is hard to experience the loss. Whenever Venus is retrograde, when a loss happens of a breakup or somebody passing away or anything, it's a very hard internal thing because the goddess feels like it has to deal with it really deep inside. It doesn't want to reveal how it really is showing itself of beauty or unbeauty, right? Like, oh, I'm not feeling good, or this is not making me feel the right way. You don't want to lose the other person or lose somebody when really people take you in more when you show yourself more, when you express yourself more. When we're able to see that goddess as imperfect as it is when they love you even more. So it's like, instead of holding back so much inside and only and feeling away and then having it boil until where the person doesn't even know that the level in which you like them, probably because you're not expressing that. So I hope that helps.
I'd say it helped. Hey, thanks for answering my question.
No problem. So Venus, yeah, so look at your, look at an ephemeris, like on your birthday, if you have Venus retrograde in your chart, and then go, okay, let me go, where did Venus retrograde? On an ephemeris, you can see the R, and you can be like, okay, Venus retrograded 7 days before I was born. So that means, when did it go? And then count the days from your days of birth until when you see Venus D, direct. Boom, that's going to be the change point. And it's always going to be within 40 years of your life, at the worst 40 years. So, there's always a shift point where you're being forced now to do the more outer thing, and the more you do that, the more it will show up the way that you want to. But you're always going to have to realize that there's some sort of internal karmic shit that's going on that's pretty gnarly. We got Tauruses talking about Venus. Synchronicities. We're in the flow right now. I don't know if you guys know.
We do have some Taurus questions. I do know that.
We have Taurus questions? Fuck yeah, I like Taurus questions. We are in the flow. Wow, we got a lot of fucking people in here. I know I'm cussing a lot. I have Tourette's tonight. But holy cow. Wow. I'm thanking everybody in the chat for being here.
So how is Uranus affecting Taurus and other Earth signs in general?
In which direction?
Whatever direction you want it to be in. When it comes to love and relationships, I'd say.
In love and relationships.
In love and relationships. This is a love tarot show, Mr. Palmer.
Yes, it is. But
it is.
Okay,
we're here for the people.
I guess we'll talk about Taurus first, and then we'll go into Earth signs. One, Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is one that's going to break everything apart that no longer is moving forward into the future and to a higher vibe. Uranus is very high vibe. Uranus-Neptune is very like this, but Uranus is, this is not of a higher vibe, so I'm going to break it apart. Neptune's the one that just is like, I'll take it there. But like Uranus is going to break apart anything that is no longer serving you and take it out of your life like a fucking cane in the universe, like, and cause disruption. And now that it's in Taurus, it's about your own ego and your own identity when it comes to love, that your identity is having to get rid of things that has caused love not to work. Things of your own egoic nature, your own way of, especially as a Taurus, right? Like how you are so set in things. Uranus is not set. And remember, hell is set because set is the opposite of Horus, right? Like, so when the sun sets, that's why the sun in Libra is at its fall position, because it's setting into Set's dark underworld. So this is where Uranus is the ruler of the route to heaven. Now I know that might sound very like Jesus-like, and I know all the fucking religious people are going to be like, no, that's just Jesus. Maybe Jesus is ruled by Uranus, believe it or not. But if that is the way that the Bible speaks of it, I would look at Jesus as very Uranian, because Jesus comes in he's a weirdo. He comes in and heals people, and he takes everybody to a place they've never been before, and everybody fucking doesn't like him. That's very Uranian. So people aren't going to like Tauruses when they continue to do the old way. Like, this is about the road to a higher vibration. Uranus rules the ruler of the heavens. He's the ruler of the skies. So you have to raise to higher vibes to see everything in a new way. You get a much better vision on a drone than you do on the ground. It trips you out when you start to go, I forgot I have neighbors there. I forgot that that's there. I forgot that, you see everything. There's a part where the universe is trying to, with unpredictability, anything that you're too set on, that you're too holding on too tight on, Uranus is going to be like, goodbye. So with other earth signs like Capricorn, this is their love house. Okay, yeah, you think this love situation's good? Yeah, right. You're holding on too tight, but it's like not, is it really of true value? And that, that's a Capricorn thing going on right now. Their love lives are crazy. But if you go on to Virgos, they need to go experience the world. Like, they're like in the same, like, they're like machines, like, I'm a Virgo doing the same thing all the time. But the universe with this Uranus now is like, especially for relationships, like, maybe you need to try something different and new. And it's like, no, I already have. It's like, no, you've never actually tried this before. No, I've never actually experienced that before. I've never done this before. I've never expressed my beliefs. Like, when Uranus came into Aries, that's my 9th house as a Leo. Holy shit, I started being like, I'm an astrologer. Blah, 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 blah. Look at how high that took me in my life. And I was willing to experience crazy different things in relationships and identities and personalities. But that's Aries. This is Taurus, a value. You gotta try different things. Like, we'll use an example for Uranus and Taurus for like a Leo, right? We'll use me because I'm here. Why do you think I do this show? Uranus and Taurus says you can't do career the same way. Okay, so I got to try things with new values. I got to try something different, okay? We're going to do love, deep love, tarot. We're going to add Craig. We're going to fucking smoke jewels. We're going to fucking be real and drop truth bombs fucking in a different way, Like, that's Uranus. I hope that answered some questions.
I mean, if it doesn't answer that question, I don't know what could.
Yeah, I don't know either. Don't get set. Anybody.
Is it Set or Seth? I don't know. I thought I saw
Set.
something there like
the original was,
like Seth.
I mean, it's Set. Set. Like,
That's
Seth.
what I thought.
You can look at Seth and other stories, but Set. The sun sets. Set. In Egypt. Some people will look at it as Seth. It's like there's translations. But if you take the original root of where we're at from the English version of setting and set, it's Set. It's going to Set's world. You can look at it as Seth. You can look at it's the same shit, but there's something about something with set, right? Like, you're set in your ways. You set it up. You are going to settle, right? Okay? Anytime you're in that shit, Uranus is going to be like, no.
Interesting.
Deep.
Very deep.
Fucking deep.
Very deep.
We get deep here on High Vibe. We're not here to fucking float you guys with fucking spiritual fluff and bullshit. There's plenty of other spiritual channels for that shit. And you know what? People think High Vibe is like wearing a white fucking thing and like singing songs and Kundalini yoga. It is. But there's a lot more to it. And the highest vibe is truth and realness and pureness of soul. However that looks. That's the highest vibe because it's in its truth and it's in its true authenticity. However that might be. Like that way that the logo is. There's so many different prisms of colors and light and expression. And we all have it, and we're all unique, and it's all beautiful, and it goes in all directions. So if you think it's set, and you have settled in your spiritual life in one space, in one place only, you have lost the whole entire game, because all streams lead to one sea. That's from a favorite Christian ska band of mine, Brighten Frenzy. All right, Taurus. Earth element stability. So you're trying to find the right space in your life to be able to even handle a relationship. Or if you're in a relationship right now, you're just trying to stabilize it and trying to find some more energy that will be sustaining longer. Or maybe you need some financial aspects. But there's definitely a part of where Taurus is this week. It's almost like things just aren't really feeling settled. So you're feeling like I need to find where to settle down or where to put my energy in order to hold anything up in love right now. And a positive of this is maybe you have reached that place. So maybe now love can come in. Maybe you need to realize that. Don't look back at like, oh, why has it come in? Oh, no, you weren't settled yet. But in a positive way of stability to be able to handle it. So setting can be a good thing. And settling there's a difference between settlement and settling. And what kind of settlement is it? Like, in what kind of setting is it?
Or settle down.
Or settle down. But usually, like when you say, I'm settling down, that means that you have set yourself up to fucking unsettle.
Just setting all over the place.
So when people are like, yeah, I'm tying the knot, it's like,
the
okay, that knot's
world.
going to be fucking untied one day. You know what I mean? Like the words we use always come back to bite us, these expressions.
Wasn't the term like week also? Like the work week, isn't that one also?
Work week?
Well, like the term week.
The term week? Oh, yeah. We're all
how
weak
we
as
say,
fuck
like, the
'cause
work
we
week?
work. No, I'm just kidding. Week is of the meek.
There we go.
But I think that, Taurus, this is a good time. It's just, if you're not aligned and you haven't found your stability in your own self and your own life right now, don't take on any love situations or don't try and over-figure out your relationship if you're in one right now. Your challenge with this is love. Yeah, I think that you really want love right now. And you just need to look at if you're in a place of stability for that. So I'm not thinking this is a bad week for Tauruses. I just think that this is just like, do you got shit together? If you got shit together, then okay, love can happen. But there's something, if every Taurus is going to feel like love isn't there, well, you need to find where your settlement is. Like, are you in the right location? This is Earth. So Earth goes into a lot of directions, right? Like, where am I physically at and holding on to? What is my lifestyle like? And where is my goals? And where is my trajectory of my life going? If those three Earth elements are not in trine and they're not connected right now, like there's a problem. If you feel like you have self-worth issues, if you feel like you have health issues, or if you feel like you have some sort of decision issues in your life, well, guess what? Love ain't coming in. You got to have all three of those fucking figured out. You did pull the Eight of Swords reversed. You are this week getting out of you holding yourself back. You know what? You're the one who's been holding yourself back from love. You're the one who's been saying, you know what? I'm stuck, or you know what? Love's toxic, or I don't know if I want to, or you find any excuse that you can to hold yourself in your own toxic waters that are making you privately feel unhappy and feel like you desire love so much. So you need to get out of this. You're creating your own mess and your own sickness of love sickness. Like, and it's a lot of it, I think, because you're just kind of afraid. This full moon is definitely in the 11th house, teaching you that you need to reconnect, and with Jupiter and square, you need to trust. And I think there's a lot of trust issues that stability brings trust completely, right? Like in yourself. If you feel stable in yourself, just if we take that as a general aspect, then you shouldn't have trust issues. Like I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting here in trusting that the live stream's going to work, that everything's going to be fine, that no meteor's going to hit me, that life's going to be good, that everything's good. You pulled the magic card. Magic is waiting for you for love this week. This is a very good reading, Taurus, but you're holding yourself back, and you can undo this. This is awesome. Eight of Swords reversed is finally the release of your own toxic, even mental health, or situations that you thought were really crazy, or you're getting out of it this week. And there's positive stability in your life coming this week, and you are pulling yourself out. And this is like the best reading, actually, believe it or not. Uranus, so to go back to the question, Craig, about Uranus, as I'm going to roll these. Uranus has this unpredictability, right? When you think it's the worst, it usually is not. When you think it's the best, it probably is the worst. Like, there's always if you think that it's like when you go to a roulette wheel, which I always think I'm going to win, and I'm going to fucking put 200 on red and 100 on fucking odd, and then I'm going to go on, 100 on black, 13, and 100 on red 23. I usually don't bet against myself. Or on the first of the three lines, or the second of the third, or 11 to 1 on green. And I think I know it's going that way. It usually doesn't. But when I just kind of go out there and go, fuck it, let's see, and then it's just like, roulette, I got it. I wasn't predicting to drop the dice.
There we go, Taurus.
Oh, I dropped it twice.
Oh, that's 2.
All right, so we got 6. So we got the 6th house in the sun there in Cancer. Yeah, you know, you're cultivating your emotional life and cultivating. There's a lot of cleaning out in a positive way emotionally for you this week. Continue that and watch just greatness happen. Like, just stay on figuring out what emotionally feels right in your life, what you need to cultivate. This is a good week for you, Taurus. This is going to be really good and really positive, and don't even be scared. This week, there's good things happening. There's lots of healing. There's lots of care. And I think when you come back to that place and feeling of that, magic will happen. But if you're going to run away from that feeling because you actually are addicted to it for some reason, because it's what is bringing you some sort of energy of love, because believe it or not, we can love toxic, crazy situations that are happening in our life because it's bringing us drama. And emotions are Leo for Tauruses. That's their 4th house. Be careful of which drama emotionally you're attaching to this week.
Detaching and healing. What a beautiful thing to do.
We have Aquarius next.
All right.
Any aqua questions?
Let me check that out real quick.
As Craig is checking that out. Did everybody have a good weekend? And how did people feel with, I want to know in the chat, how did people feel with Sun opposed Neptune as we're having right now? And more importantly, this weekend with it square Jupiter. It was very weird coming into, and the moon void off course Friday night, and then the moon void off course last night. Like, this has been a very weird time. Also, are you ready for the full moon? What are you going to do for this full moon? You're all going to watch spiritual dance music on highvibe.tv, I hope, on Friday, because we are going to be doing a pumped up Pisces imaginative experience up in this mofo. But I just want to know what people are feeling. Yo.
So we do have a question.
All right.
This Aquarius says, what do you think about playing games in relationships? Is it a game? My Libra dad told me that in relationships you have to play the game. As a Leo something, I feel that sometimes I am too upfront about my feelings in relationships. Just interested to see what you guys think about that. So, do you feel like there is like a little bit of game that you have to play, kind of showing your cards, holding them towards your chest a little bit before you show everything?
Love is a fun game, not a strategy game. So if you're feeling like I got to show my cards or I got to do this, no. Leo is the ruler of romance and love in astrology. And the heart doesn't play games with you, does it? It fucking shows up every day and pumps that motherfucker every second. It has not stopped loving you the whole time. True love does not stop loving. It doesn't play games with you. And when you start to have AFib or you start to have heart problems or anything, guess what? That's because you are playing games with your own self-love and your own happiness in your life. 1, I'm just going to bring up some fucking gnarly truth. 2, love is the game of play. It's like when you're at the playground, and I remember playing handball, and I would show off to try and get the girls. And did I get that Tiffany chick in 3rd grade? Man, that was the hottest chick. I fucking got her. I forgot her last name. She was so hot, and then she like moved to another school. I hate when that happens in elementary school, even though it's not like you really do much with any girls in elementary school when you're in elementary school, but still.
I had the same girlfriend from kindergarten to 6th grade.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, my crush from kindergarten, her and I always had it, you know, but it never turned out, you know. She used to wear the poodle skirt to school and shit. Remember those?
Yeah. You know, it's a trip, too. When I did a past life regression, I actually saw she and I got burnt at the stake together. We were witches over in Eastern Europe somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that was my girlfriend from kindergarten to 6th grade. And her birthday is like 4 days after mine.
That's your Venus retrograde.
Crazy. Is it?
Yeah.
True.
Scorpio, burned
Yeah, I
at
was
the
a
stake,
redheaded-
and
I was
right
a
away you
redheaded
meet her
witch,
at the first
so-
moment of social interaction with other children. You find your fucking ex, like, person that you got burned at the stake with and your boyfriend and girlfriend from kindergarten to 6th grade. I don't know anybody who fucking did that, kindergarten to 6th grade. I was looking around like I'm fucking like this every second. Who's the new person in class? Who's the new girl at school? There's a new girl at school, where is she? Like, this was me the whole time. You were pretty set, Scorpio, repairing your old life.
Yeah, we're still friends to this day too. So
anyway, so love is like play. Like it's like showing off each other and having fun and laughing like crazy. Like that is possible. I never believed it was possible, but it's happened before. And I can tell you that you can meet somebody instantly and laugh and cry so hard with barely knowing the person and fall deeply into a space of what we call love, like whatever that is, of happiness and joy. And it's not a game of like playing like this strategy, like, okay, I'm gonna move the pawn right here. Let's see what you do next. I'm gonna text, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna respond till then. It's like, you know what? That never fucking turns out into a fucking good relationship. When you just start just saying, you know what, you're just real, you're just like, you know what, oh my God, like you're fucking amazing, I think you're great, and they feel it because you know it and they feel it back and they will reciprocate it to you, bam, it's fucking on like Donkey Kong and fucking that is love. It will go anywhere. It'll take you anywhere. There is no games. There are no games, there's just the play of fun and excitement and laughter and joy. That's love. When I'm sorry to say, and I will say it to myself, like I fucking fucked up. I tried to do the whole like, am I making the right move? This is on my list. Should I approach it this way? I went against my own knowing in myself. And a couple times in relationships, you know, where I tried to play a game with it, not like against them, but like with myself of like, am I doing the right, should I do this? Or I don't really do this though. This isn't my way. Like, I'll be honest with you. I had a good talk recently with somebody about love and relationships and it was like, what is everybody doing this whole like, well, you got to go on a first date and then you got to go on that and then you got to go on this and then you got to do this. It's like that it never fucking leads anywhere. If you look at love or especially, you know, kindergarten to sixth grade, like there was none of that. It was just natural, I'm sure, Craig, right? It was just like you fucking just, it
was.
And so that's the problem with dating today. It's like, and then there's this whole culture out there that's like, especially, and I will not blanket any men or women, but men or women out there who are like, you know, all these people, they're players. Like they just want to hang out with me. They don't want to take me out or they want to do this. It's like, okay, you're eventually going to get to that place. You might as well just get that right away and see if you guys get along. People are not all there to just fucking like, just fuck you or just like have sex. Like it's about seeing if there's a real connection. Like there's this whole thing about men and women now being like, oh, wait, hold on. I need to like put out what the world's telling me to do in this projection thing. It's like, why don't you just go by whatever the unwritten laws are that you feel in your heart? Like, you know, maybe go take a drive, maybe go fucking walk, or maybe just hang out on a couch, like, and talk, you know? And if the person's creepy, just be like, hey, no. It's like pretty simple now today to fucking have your phone next to you with the emergency contact. I forgot how it's done, but I think you can, you know, with your phone, it's pretty easy to set that up. Just it's like, beep, 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 like right away. Like, let your friends know. Let your neighbor know. Let your mom know. Hey, I'm on a fucking date. The person's coming over, or I'm going to their house. I'm on fucking cell. Track it. Know where I'm at. I'm sending my location. Like, people are fucking insane today, creating these fucking weird paradigms and games. And not fucking like, or they're like, the other thing, and I want Craig's opinion on this one, like asking like, what kind of love language are you in? Or what kind of, it's like analyzing you from outside instead of inside of just like, I'm me. Do you like me or not? Like, this is how I am. I don't know. You want to define me by this language or this, or what are my values of this? Like, it depends on the person. I might value a person differently than another person based off the kind of energy they are.
Yeah, I mean, was that a question?
It was a statement with a question pending.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was once told that love to one person can be different, love to one person is different than another person, which I think is bullshit because, love is universal. I think that's like one of the oldest terms that they have out there. So I think when you're actually in a committed relationship and love, and it's like that deepness that you're just on fully that level of like getting each other and being completely honest with each other. But yeah, I mean, being upfront with what you're about, but not actually like trying to put someone in a box for what they are. You know, if they don't like the same music that you listen to, you know, expand your horizon a little bit. Try some new food. There's all different aspects that you can get involved with. So it's really finding like what's going to make you happy. What's going to make you happy. So
I agree. And I think that somebody put in here, and it's actually Courtney. Hi, Courtney. We know Courtney. She's been here before. That love language is important. I think it is, but I think that now with us being awake and spiritual and intuitive, like my love language first is physical touch. Like fucking, because I have love with all the fans and all the people, but I'm not physically touching you. You know what I mean? So like, of course, my number one is like in love. That's the one place where I get my physical touch. So that one's going to be first. That's my love language. I'm a Leo. But it's like I can tell right off the bat if that's not their first love language. Like it's just energetically, like you could just feel, like you could see them not be, oh, that's kind of weird, or I don't know, or, you know, it's like, well, that's not it. Big move. You know, it's like I don't have to ask anymore. It's like pretty fucking clear. So maybe the love language is important for you and your side, but if you have to ask outside, guess what? And then the person's kind of like, oh, now they're in their head and I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, like I will not go on a date if I know their love language is not to fucking connect and cuddle and kiss and have a deep, passionate make out and just be like fucking, wah! If that ain't going down and I can feel that, like not gonna happen. I'm not even gonna attempt, you know, like I'll even bring up gnarly shit, like this is deep shit, like guys and girls get turned on. It's hard for me to be turned on to somebody who's not fully emotionally, fully giving it back. Like I will literally go like limp. Like I'll like literally just go like, bloop, because I don't, what, there's no connection? Like fuck this. Like I'm not the kind of guy that could just have like some stripper sit on me and just get hard. Like unless I'm connecting with you or something, like, okay. I don't like get hard by seeing somebody walk down the street. Like that doesn't do it. Like that, I don't know this person. I don't know if we connect. So it's like there's something about love that's like connection of a childlike feeling and laughter and fun. And like when you're on I don't know, when you have your first love, like it's just like overblowing how beautiful it is and like just nothing else exists but that. Aquarius.
Maybe I peaked too soon.
Did you peak too soon? You peaked. Hey, you're swimming. You peaked out pretty quick too.
That's true. Athletically, I peaked at about 10. Love life, I peaked at about, I don't know, how old are you in 6th grade?
6th grade, 12 years old.
Yeah. So I peaked about the same time.
No, very nice.
And got my Venus retrograde. I'm crushing it this life.
Yeah, and then,
so much to look forward to.
Then you hit puberty, and you already peaked before puberty.
Yeah, I'm done. I already live.
No, you're not done. You already had Venus go direct in your chart, by the way. So, all right, Aquarians. We got the 8th house, and that is where the sun is for all Aquarians. Endings and beginnings. Sexual desire, too. I think that there's an expression coming out of Aquarians right now, positive, of more of who they really are, more of their sexual expression. And I think like accepting people for who they are and realizing that maybe that's, if you're in a relationship and you're seeing something wrong, or you know, you've been dating somebody and you don't like what they're doing, or you like somebody and you don't see it fully the way you want to, maybe they're representing something that you are repressing in yourself. And I think that's what the 8th house always does, it's like 8th house energy or Scorpio energy usually gets mad or jealous or pissed off at energy that is not of what it sometimes holds within itself. So it's like, unless it's a trust thing, okay? Unless somebody's not being honest. But if they're being honest and they're just being themselves and you're like, what the fuck? Like maybe there's a part of you that is now gonna this week realize I need to express myself more the way I want to express myself. That person's expressing themselves. 8th house is bringing out the deepest temple of like whatever treasure you have this week, Aquarius, and like let's see what it is, because that is what attracts. 8th house is about attracting. You need to use attraction aspects. But in Virgo, you know, I'm going to use a good example. Jennifer Aniston. Somehow she knows how to attract lots of men. When we were young, watching Friends, like she was hot.
Yeah, there must be something up with her because nothing sticks. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful, but you know what's interesting about her is it's not
Something's
like
off.
she's out as a Victoria's Secret model. It's not like we know what she looks like all the time in lingerie or something like that. She's not on Instagram like fucking putting her ass out and fucking her titties and shit. She ain't doing that. But there's something that makes her super attractive. It's because how she expressed herself in her own natural way, but she also didn't do it like everybody else. She kind of just was fully herself and her kooky self, and she knew how to use the power of that to attract in. So this is where for you, wherever that might be in your quirky self as an Aquarian, that you feel weird about, not being feeling weird about it, owning it. Because the best part of Aquarians, when they own it, they could be really sexy. Like a good example is, I know some people might not think she's sexy, but I think she's sexy, is Paris Hilton. Like, it depends on her expression. She goes through phases, but you know, she fucking doesn't waver off being Paris Hilton. And a lot of women do want to be like her. Probably not people on here, but I live in Hollywood, so I know. There's a lot of people who do. And she's actually a really cool chick. So there's something about Aquarian women, they're very unique, and about the way that they express themselves. And so if you're mad at an Aquarian about how they express themselves, then you have a big issue about being unique and different. But if an Aquarian is having weird energy, especially this week, in the 8th house of the full moon in the 2nd, it's some self-worth issue that you're not bringing out, that you have to bring out. You have to learn to attract this week more. So if you're in a relationship, Aquarius, and it's not working out, attraction, whether that's sexual or physical or some self-worth issue, and that challenge is solitude. You have been holding something back that you haven't shown. So I'm seeing this. Maybe one, of course, you could be always a hermit by yourself all the time, and that's been a challenge. But it's a hermit because you're not expressing or showing yourself the way that you want to. And I think that this is not bad at all. I think that this is you truly showing who you are, letting us see it fully and owning it. Like owning your depth, owning your attractive energy, owning your power. This is great. I think that this is going to be attracting a lot of energy to you, but why are you pulling away from it in a weird way? Like, why aren't you not coming back with the connection fully and meeting people on wherever that vibration is? And you did get the Ten of Swords upright. So I think that you are tired in love with the same patterns repeating over and over again, and they're not about the external people. They're about the way that you are not dealing with sexual, deep, passionate expression, attraction that you have been in your own weird world with. And I think also as well that Aquarians in relationships this week are sexually at a place where they might feel like they want something more and different. And it's the same situation. It's like, this is where you have to do a change up of something, or you have to have a talk about it, or you have to stop hiding it too, And you got the psychic card with the solitude. So, I think that overall too, it's like you psychically know what you must do to end this game, and it's within your own solitude area of what you're hiding and not expressing and showing us in your life. You did pull Capricorn Mars, which is exalted in the 7th house. So much 7th house, it's insane. Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So this is about you to achieve what you want in a relationship. One, you have to take action and you have to set a plan. And you have to, more importantly, know the target. And you need to start to present yourself. Mars, identity, 10th house, Capricorn. In the 7th, present yourself like a diplomat. A diplomat, if let's say I was an American diplomat and I was going over to China to do the trade negotiation right now. I'd present myself, of course, as an American because I want to be that. But at the same time, I would understand how to present myself as an American talking to a Chinese ambassador. Like I would understand what their custom is and I would know how am I going to attract it. Maybe I'm going to bring them a gift or I'm going to show them something that makes the deal more better. And so I think that this is about you learning how to negotiate clear presentation of who you are to get what you want in relationships. Oh man. Shit.
We've lost him, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll pick the next one here.
He's gone
while I get
forever.
the dice. We got Virgos. Virgo. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. That was a good Aquarius reading. My guides are like, that was really good. I was like, thanks. I know that you guys might think I'm crazy, but my guides give me like, fucking like, that was good. And I'm always like, thanks. And fucking, it was because of you guys too. And then I'm kind of like, I'll own it. Like, that was a fucking good reading. And do we have any questions? Here I go. I got it.
Oh, you're just shaking it for him.
Well,
You're just shaking it. Let's see. Virgo.
yeah, Virgos. I need to get more tan, man. Like I was all tan this summer, and then fucking I'm going
brother.
back to my English white.
Pasty.
I know. I am a Palmer. I am from the Mayflower.
No Virgo. I guess they are
Uh-oh.
doomed.
It's not a good sign.
You're doomed, Virgos. You're doomed.
I'm praying Virgos don't have to go through this, but this is the... Okay, I'm just going to be honest, and we are going to drop truth bomb here as an astrologer as I'm fixing this, and I want my Moldavite to be in the right position for this reading. There we are. This is a full moon in Pisces, so I'm just saying this before this reading because I already got some feeling some gnarly shit's about to come up in this reading. I'm just going to be honest. And the fact that the guides have been very clear today, all the angels, God, everybody that's in this sacred space tonight, if you didn't put a question out, the reading has not gone well. Now, I'm not trying to project that on the reading, that there is unlimited possibilities, but I will say that this full moon in Pisces is in the relationship house for Virgos, in a square to Jupiter, in opposition with Mars. And Mars is about to square Jupiter and oppose Neptune. And these are major emotional and major relationship situations. So if you have Virgo rising, if you're a Virgo moon or Virgo sun, you better pay attention to this reading about relationships because it's extreme. Extreme. And Venus is finishing in fall position in your sign, and that's coming into Libra. And getting ready for its opposition to Chiron. And this is going to be gnarly because Mercury leaves your sign, your ruling planet. So, and Jupiter and Neptune are going to go in a full moon in square, and it's not over. That next week following, where Jupiter is going to be 1 degree, and then it's going to be squaring Neptune again. And there's been gnarly relationship situations that have been brewing a long time. And they can be very positive if you're willing to do the work, whatever this is going to say. I want to say that. All right, let's see, Virgo. 12th house. I fucking called this shit. Oh my gosh. 12th house is disillusion.
Drop the hammer.
Don't be encouraged. Don't be cheerleading this kind of energy. This is a sensitive subject. I have Virgos that are in my life, and my mom, my brother, and I know lots of Virgos.
I'm sorry, Virgos,
lots of Virgo rising.
for being insensitive to you. I apologize.
But this is definitely going to be a gnarly one. Okay. 12th house, escape, but more importantly, illusion, or the escape of the truth, the escape of reality, subconscious issues, mental health issues, holding yourself in your own jail in love, not living in full authenticity, but at the same time, the 12th house is when you are in your pure spiritual state. But to be in that pure spiritual state, you usually go through the worst loss of your whole life. In order for me to become a freaking, and I'll be honest, and I'm in a little bit of Leo mode tonight. I'm regaining my self-worth, and please just let me regain it. It's not an ego thing. But fucking, the only way I became a famous celebrity astrologer over this last 10 years was by going through jail, hospitals, well, actually I went to prison, being stuck in the military and boot camp, being a drug addict, like all the 12th house fucking shit. I'm a son of the 12th house, okay? The greatest losses in your life, if you're a son in the 12th house, but if you are pulling this card for relationships and love this week, there is something that, like, it is not right. Whether you can have 1 million people say that it is, there is an illusion, there is something that is off, there is something that is holding your spiritual life, your adventure, and where you're going into the most positive spiritual place of your life and not being able to fully express that space. That there is a toxic energy, that there is you either that's in that toxic energy or that outer person that's in that toxic energy, or both. Alcohol, drugs, if you're not on that, and you know what's funny is people think I'm not on that, but I'm having like a glass of wine in a night or 2 glasses a night or whatever. It starts building up. This card is no joke to have. especially in this full moon in Pisces, which rules the 12th house, in your relationship house, which you can lose yourself into a world of delusion and traps and everything with Neptune in Pisces in its home sign. And remember, this is a full moon with it on Neptune, and it's going to beat out the sun and Mars because Neptune's in its home sign. Usually the full moon will lose, but the moon is happier in Pisces than it is in Virgo. The sun isn't that happy in Virgo, just left its home sign. Mars is not that happy in Virgo because it's like, health oriented and cleaning things up. From having a good time and like getting back to normal life and reality and work. It's it's like the soldier coming back from leave, and coming back and like having to get back into the gear and work and So this full moon in Pisces is like, oh yeah, I want to go on the adventure and the dream, but it's got Jupiter square it, the emotional stuff. That you need to experience the biggest Jupiter in Sag, hugest emotional situation in relationships coming up here. And there's loss with this. And I think that contemplation has gone on too long. You got contemplation as your challenge. You have contemplated for so long. And it even is the Virgin Mary in this one holding a baby. So this is fucking very clear. I knew to give a warning before this reading because it was that intense. When you have contemplation going on about what you know is not in your spiritual right, imagine the Virgin Mary, Mother Mary, contemplating whether or not she should hold and keep Jesus or not in her life. Do you think she did? Or do you think that, from what the story says in the Bible, that she knew she was given this gift from God and never contemplated it once? Your issue is that you are not fully sure about what you have with your relationship and never have been. Or if you're single right now, that there is a lot of toxic issues that you need to contemplate in your own life that are 12th house related, that are holding you back, that are causing nobody to come in. Because anybody of purity is not going to come into anything where you are dealing with your subconscious and toxic shit. You pulled the 9 of Swords reversed. So, yes, it seems like a nightmare, but at the end of the day, nightmares sometimes are not as bad as we think they are. They are wake-up calls. 9 of Swords reversed is a wake-up call that looks worse than it really is, and it's the right wake-up call. Sometimes we are freaked out, especially in this deck. I love it because the dog is running to the bed. I love the Golden Tarot. But what's interesting in this, I always look at it as like the rude awakening from the dog, which you get mad at and it scares the shit out of you, but it's because there's a hurricane coming or a tsunami and you live on the beach and it's about to take over your house. So you better run and you better deal with it quick. So what looks like a nightmare is saving you from a bigger nightmare. Stormy waters. Stormy Daniels. Wow. Now, greatness is found in storms. I will say that. Always beautiful waters. And there's something about when a storm comes in, life looks so much more beautiful when it leaves. And the contemplation has become a storm in your own life, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. And you hide this very deeply. With the 12th house as the first card, and with the 9 of Swords reversed, you're avoiding a nightmare, but what you're actually doing is building up a bigger nightmare. So, we're going to have to pull Ganesha. I'd get those questions.
Let's get a little positivity out of Ganesha.
Hey,
those are beautiful
I know.
cards.
I'm just being, you know what? This message and my guys are being fucking real about this shit. This shit needs to be heard, like, to Virgos, Virgo risings, and to Virgo moons. Like, there's just something about it that's just like, this is, if you think about it, Pluto, Saturn, if you're Virgo rising watching or even moon, like, you need to realize that Pluto, Saturn are meeting up here very soon. We're in September. October, November, December. And we come right into January. So we are a season away from the biggest transit in your romantic house ever of destruction and recreation and decimation and then rebuilding, okay? So Don't play with the idea that you have control, one. Don't play with how deep the destruction you want to see. I have this in my 5th house. I'm a late Leo rising. I have watched the destruction of my love life completely. Completely. It was not easy. But I did not avoid it. I did not avoid it. I fucking used the astrology and I saw it and it was terrible and it was hard as fuck. But you know what? I avoided a bigger nightmare. You know what I mean?
Amen, my brother.
Like, Leo rising in here, Craig.
We had our love lives get demolished.
Demolished.
Same period of time. It was pretty
Demolished.
fucking wild. Sit there and watch that. Both of us go through it.
Together, like watching it, it was gnarly. So, all I'm telling you, Virgo, is like, come on, you want a clean life? Why don't you start with this shit in love first in your life, or the shit that's holding you from love? But, you know, yeah, there's a lot of Virgo risings alone. Yeah, it's your own shit. You know it. It's like you're in your own toxic mess. If you're in a relationship, you are in a toxic situation, or you're both in one, or that person is toxic. And you can believe as much as you want, whatever. There's something that has to be dealt with. Like, this is what it says. I fucking hate doing this for a living sometimes because it's so real, you know? And that's why a lot of people turn away from it and go back to the fluff and live in, you know, putting lipstick back on the pig. Ganesha pulled generosity. So, you know, the universe is giving you everything that it can. And I would love to show this card because in this deck, it's very interesting that Ganesha is very generous in giving to the rat, or is the rat giving to Ganesha? Usually Ganesha is the one giving. He's generous. With generosity overall, but more importantly on stormy waters and contemplation, it's like, are you generously giving yourself the honest truth of the stormy contemplation about some very toxic situations by accepting them and dealing with them or avoiding them? And that God is trying to give you the truth, but are you accepting that truth? And are you generous? You should be generous for it. Like, you should be like, thank you, God, for it. Opposed to, God, I don't want to go through this. I'm done. I've already been through this before. I've already had this before. This was perfect. This was everything I wanted it to be like. Your dice are, wow, you got Neptune and Leo in the 12th house. You can't make that shit up, okay? And I'm not, you know what? People aren't believing me lately. 12th house. Oh, that's got Virgo out of here. We'll put it right there. 12th house. Okay, 12. Leo, Neptune. Your love life is a delusional mess at the moment, but it can be the most beautiful thing if you find a spiritual center of the true heart in yourself and see what that really looks like. It's almost like you are not allowing yourself to fully see what it's like to truly channel your full heart spiritually. It's like you are creating a formulation of it, not a channeling of it truly. It's like you're not free of your true essence of your heart. And you don't know what that feels like to feel it fully, to create. If you're a Virgo rising, or Virgo moon, and you are not creating, and that could be children at the moment, so that's a good thing. But if you're not creating life, you're not being creative, you're not making things happen as far as whether it's artwork or music, or you have not found your heart. Like, I'm sorry to say. That's what, watch Kim's videos. She just put up, did you just put up a new Kim video? This week? It's free?
Yeah, it's for free.
It's free.
It's a beautiful monarch butterfly.
Kim has put out shit that you would spend thousands of dollars in art classes going to for free on High Vibe. Free. Go to the free content. It's free. Hours. That woman has sat here for hours and given her life and her soul to help you all and everybody with learning how to be creative. We are creative forces in this life. There is no excuse, and I'm going to call people on bullshit. There is no excuse to say that you cannot be creating this life and doing your passion and doing something abundant and creating. You know what Craig does? Look at what Craig has built below me. All this, like he made, that's just one little smidgen of what creative force is in life. One little smidgen. Look how beautiful that is for you. Look what he did for you. You know?
Oh, shucks.
I know.
I just got shocked by the
hooking you up,
microphone.
dog. I'm hooking you up, bro. But I'm just saying, I'm calling the Virgos out. And this is direct from guides. And there's been a bunch of fucking architects around from the universe that have showed up. Like there is a divine moment here for Virgo, Virgo rising, Virgo moons, where if it is toxic, if there's deception, there's some sort of weird thing that you can't understand around the corner, or there's just the twistedness of addiction, alcoholism, drug use, any of that shit, it's going to end bad. Love you all. I'm sending you my best for that. Libras are next. This is a long night.
We do have Libra questions.
Okay. Well, I guess Libras are going to go all right then. Wow. That was a gnarly ass reading. And you know what? I fucking knew it coming in. I just felt it. If you want to book a reading with me, this is the last time to get a reading with me, for real. So, theleoking.com, 15% off. Like, if you want me to just do tarot, I'll do tarot, but I like to look at your chart and I'll do tarot. Whatever you want me to do. Like, I am here for you all pre-2020. Like, the shit's, Saturn and Pluto are here. So, like, the dates are getting smaller and smaller. So,
We've got a couple questions. So this Libra, she feels like she hasn't been able to fall in love since her first real heartbreak. She's committed to love, and she's had tons of relationships since then, but she feels like it's only in lust and not real love. How can she transmute this? How do you turn lust into love? I guess you got to be open to having your heart break again. I mean, that'd be the only way.
well,
You got to take a risk.
say the first part of it because that's, I think, the key to this. She
feels like she hasn't been able to fall in love again since her first real heartbreak.
See?
She's committed to love, and she's had tons of relationships, but she just lusts for them. She doesn't really love them.
All right. So it definitely starts with the heartbreak. So it's easier to go to lust because there's the reason why Leo comes before Scorpio, not that it trumps it, right? No sign trumps another. It's a round 360-degree table. But the reason why that it comes before is because the heart is the willpower, and the heart is a creative element of love. There's nothing better than loving somebody and then experiencing the lust, because that makes the lust not lust anymore. It makes it turn into something positive like creation, connection, and divine, passionate love. It's like the supercharger of love, lust. You know what I mean? So if you're in just lust, it's like using a drug to feel good. Like it feels very similar to love. Scorpio and Leo feel like love both ways because they're fixed signs. Pluto can feel like love because it's attachment, and Leo definitely feels like love too because it's fixed and it's attached. There's attachment, but they're different. Love is, you have to be bold enough to not be afraid of being hurt. That like you enter into love, you already are going to be hurt. But it's whether you look at it as hurt or as if you look at it as always love, that it never ends. That person will die. Either you or that person are going to die. That's the number one thing that Scorpio is reminding in lust as well, is why you have an orgasm. Like, you know that there will come to an ending point where a release will happen and create a new world, a new life. or just it will still be created and end up on a towel in the fucking laundry room or in a fucking wet nap in the toilet. But still, it ends up somewhere away. And so it starts with that heartbreak stuff, and it starts with learning, like, if you have heartbreak, guess what? That means you've loved. Some people never have loved because they're afraid of heartbreak or whatever, or they have this too much perfect energy of what love should look like. Guess what? Love is love, and it never should. You never stop loving, even if it's if you want to call it heartbreak. Like, it's more like, oh wow, that person really just is not in alignment with the love that I am. I still love them, and they have love, but you know what? Maybe they didn't treat you good. Maybe they didn't. Maybe there's trust issues, because attaching to Scorpio and lust and sex means trust issues, and also that you are almost double attaching before you're going to the love. You're double attaching to what happened to you about trust. And so, like, you trust because you have some sort of control of yes or no. You have control of when you're going to feel good and not feel good every moment that you're pushing in and out whatever's going on in the sexual world. But in love, there is none of that control. Like, it's like, you can't control if somebody falls out of love with you. Doesn't mean that they don't love you. Maybe they just don't love you on the level and the frequencies that you're at. And that doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that that's not the right combination of things. And that's okay. That's saving you so you can find the ultimate love of your life. But if you're just connected to only the lust part, then you're missing the motor, and you're turning this huge supercharger that's not fucking working. Like, it's almost like swimming upstream. Like, love and sex is going on the boat down the stream. Or love with no sex is usually just friends, or
sex with no love.
Or sex with no love, exactly. There's an extreme same difference. Like, that's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, you really just got to kind of trust yourself and know that, like, you are worthy for that love, and that it is going to come in divine timing, because maybe you just haven't done that work that you need to get to that space where you are open for that deep love that you're trying to bring in. You know, maybe there's some traumas that you're still having to deal with that subconsciously are deep down in there that you thought maybe you've worked through, but you just haven't yet. So it just takes time, I'd say, as shitty as that is.
Yeah, I mean, every love situation that doesn't work out is beautiful, even when it looks traumatic. Like, I went through that younger, so it was like I got that smacked in my face at 20 and 21. Like, the girl I fell in love with, who was the hottest chick in high school, who was a grade older than me, like, saved her from at the police department from 3 DUIs, like, even tried to help her in 2016, like, fucking in jail, like cheated on me, fucking, I already told the story, you know, like, that decimated me. But you know what? After that, I found my worth. And I went out there and I loved. And I didn't stop. I just was like, well, she's losing out. I know, actually, you just showed me, like, why I'm so fucking great and you suck, like, as far as, like, not being in...
True that.
Like, right? Like, it's like you have to kind of, like, go, well, let's like, there's something about Leo, about, like, people, like, don't like Leo because they think it's ego. It's not ego. It's about loving yourself and having that value of your greatness.
And
like,
knowing your self-worth.
And if other people don't see that, then you know what? Then they don't love you, and that's okay. Like, people who love you will love you and will pump you up and be like, you're fucking the man. You're the girl. You're the chick. You're the this. Fuck yeah. And if that energy ain't coming in your life, and you're afraid of that, if you're pushing that away, well then guess what? You know what? Sex is great, but they have machines coming out soon that are fucking AI machines for men and women that are coming out. The women already got them. And I don't know if you've seen them, but there's like fucking mannequins and shit with fucking dongs and shit. Like, you can just fucking literally put that shit on your wall now and fucking and it could feel like everything that you've ever wanted in your life. Like, but there's nothing there. It doesn't matter if you're having sex with another human being and there's no love. Like, there's nothing there. There's, like, root chakra, Like, let's be honest. You could go into a tent and, of course, because we're in such a PC culture, I'll use a PC thing. Like if you said, who is willing to have sex with me? And it was a bunch of fucking people in tents and like they were sleeping in sleeping bags and you couldn't see them and person raised their hand. You could literally stick it in them and if they were in agreement, right? They rose their hands, I'm being PC, and you had sex with them and you could come and you could do it all. And guess what? You wouldn't even know who they are, what the connection is or whatever, or no love, that is possible, believe it or not, in life.
There you have it.
So that's it on a bigger scale. You might see it as a different scale, but it's if that is possible in that, so that's what you're dealing with. Like you're just ripping a hole in a sleeping bag and fucking going at it. Like Libras! Libras liked this conversation. I'm sure they were like, this was a good one to have before us. Libra's got the Aquarius card. Got a lot of connection and excitement coming this week in love. You know, I like how this card always says, I know. There is something about Libra starting to come into a full understanding, especially with Uranus and Taurus, about their desires and their wants and relationships and commitments. There's something about commitment this week. Aquarius and, Uranus is happening to be in right now in Taurus. Then if we look at Aquarius as being a Libra, that is your fifth house of love. So there is a lot of good positive love energy going and almost a knowing. You know, Libra, you know what you want. You know what feels right for you this week. Start moving into that. Stop denying yourself. You usually come to this point and you kind of start denying yourself or you start backing away. Don't back away. Go. Your challenge card this week is prosperity. So you feel like you're going to lose something in your life. You're going to think that you're losing the prosperity if you gain this excitement. The truth is that what you're losing is not that prosperous at all. It's actually not as prosperous as what you're gaining. You think that you are going to lose something or lose this prosperity in yourself or that you're losing some powerful, great, unique, and probably independence, when the truth is that it's not that prosperous right now. If you actually look at your life right now as you read this reading, whenever it reads to you, if you watch this any day of the week, whenever, Libra, you hear this, look at your life right now and really see if it is as prosperous as it could be with this and other energy of connection. If you're in a relationship, this is about you really knowing what you're doing in the relationship. Is it really prosperous? If you finally have come to your conclusion, and are you gonna stay in and work through it, and it's already got its fixes, and it's gonna remain prosperous, or are you at a point to where you're still holding on because you think it's prosperous, but it really is not? This is gonna be kind of more difficult, I think, for partnered Libras, but I think this is a lot more exciting for single Libras. So that's kind of a weird way to put it, but that's just the truth. You got the strength card too. You need to have strength to go into love. This is forcing you. You got the Leo energy and the Aquarius energy coming at you, which are your best friends, by the way, Libra. And you've got this weird thing of being prosperous. Guess what? You are coming into royalty. What's more prosperous than that? You actually think you're losing something of prosperity when you don't even have it in your life. You've never been there. So it's kind of attached to, if you were I always use the kingdom analogy. You're in the Leo kingdom, right? If you were the blacksmith's daughter, they're I'm going to go be with this awesome prince in this castle. But Daddy, I love hearing you every morning hit the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And I love that you haven't washed my clothes in 3 weeks. I don't know why, I just like the smell of it. But they wash their clothes every day up there. It's honey, go, please. Dad's go. It's a better life. I'm fucked up on this crazy chemical that the alchemist made for me, and I have a problem, and I'm a blacksmith. Go. Look at your situation, realize you're going to somewhere better. You just have never been there, so you're so attached to the prosperity. What you think is that actually, if you take a wider look with this Aquarian energy and you have the strength to go into it, you will get the most amazing love that is nurturing and beautiful and much more regal and much more connected. You did pull the divine masculine on top of that prosperity. So yeah, there's a lot about showing more force and drive and commitment to ambition and moving forward into love and defining what that love is instead of backing away. This is definitely, because Aquarius can back away in the negative aspect. The positive aspect is when it connects, okay? Aquarius is about connecting everything. let's take this, let's take this, let's take this, let's take this, and let's take this. And guess what? Aquarius rules the wrists and the elbow, anything that moves in a weird contortionate way in your body, right? Like that's the wrists. So it's connecting from here to the hands. But when it's disconnected, you're not moving anywhere, you know? Like when you back out, you're like, oh, hold on one second, I'm not gonna use my energy to connect. And Aquarians do that a lot because they want the best. They want what's gonna make them feel the best. Well, you're trying to feel the best and you have to go to a place that is better and you're afraid to go there. Stop being afraid. Like all the universe is supporting you. It's a great reading for Libras. Oh, that one went far. I know they got Sag North Node, so go on the new experience.
Find that new wild ride. Can't play scared, Libra. Maybe that beauty is just sitting right in front of you and you just got to reach out there and grasp it. But you won't grasp it if you don't take that chance in love.
Yeah, keep talking for a second. This is far.
Well, as Mr. Palmer is digging underneath the couch.
I got it.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
I got it.
He's back.
Whew. All right. It's almost like a little bit of a drum roll. Here we go. And it's 9th house. Wow. This is the expedition of your life. This is exploring North Node and Sag in the 9th house. Like, stop old environments. Stop old day-to-day routines. Stop old places that you've already figured out. Go to places that you have not explored fully yet. Explore. Go. Go. See what's there. There is nothing but gifts, whether they're positive or negative or not. But staying in the same way and doing the same thing and doing the same thing all the time and right now in your relationship life and your love life is not working. So go full bore and see what's there. You got nothing to lose, but only everything to gain.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty gnarly.
That was good.
I know. I can't believe there's like 4 people left, 4 signs. We have Pisces next, so this is a long night. Long night.
We're rocking and rolling, brother.
I know.
Pisces, you said?
Yeah, and yeah, we got a lot of people here still, and we appreciate that. Over 867 people still in here. Appreciate you all being here. We are holding it down for the collective right now. For love. We hold it down here. I just want to let people know, like, this comes first.
So we got questions from a Pisces.
Let's do it.
So this Pisces says, it's very cute. This guy that I like said that he likes me back, so that's a good start. And that he wants to go out on a date again soon, but when she tries to make plans, he says that he can't because he's too busy with work, or he'll say that he isn't sure until the very last minute. He works every day, he's very busy. She's been very patient, understanding, but she can't help to feel like she's too available for him and that he's sending mixed messages. They have the same sun sign, so he's a Pisces as well. So what do you do about that when you tell someone that your feelings and they reciprocate those feelings, or at least to say that, but then they're not following through with plans of actually getting together and like letting that relationship grow?
Well, I'm going to use the line that Craig likes to use, communication.
Communication is key.
I mean, it's pretty simple, especially with Uranus and Taurus. Uranus has been kind of like a theme for this show today, and Neptune. And with Neptune for Pisces in their own sign, it's like, okay, are you sure it really is reciprocated the same way? Like, because it's kind of a delusional thing if it's not showing up, right? Like, you might think it is, but like, if it's not, then speak up, ask. Like, don't be afraid to ask for the, like, that's what Pisces have to do since they are fish. Fish have to ask to, like, know if it's okay, like, what is going on. They need to ask questions or else they get lost. So it's kind of like, Pisces remind me of people with Thomas guides, like trying to look up, like, oh, this is the road. How did I, wait, I'm not on the right road anymore. The GPS told me, but I'm like, where? It's like, ask the gas station person. Instead of continuing to drive through nowhere and try and find where you're going, and then the Pisces never makes it, and then they're late, and then it's like, you got to be clear on what it is. And so you have to learn to ask questions and get answers.
So we got another question. We're adding another one in here because I feel like this one's pretty important. I just stumbled upon it. This is from a man. His wife has asked for a divorce because he was not able to be emotionally vulnerable with her. Since she told me, he's been really making an effort and have experienced a lot of personal growth, but she said it's too late. His question is, should he keep hoping she changes her mind and gives it another chance, or should he begin to move forward? That's a tough one. Mr.
Yeah,
Palmer,
I mean,
I'll let you take that one.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, this is a full moon where it's pretty clear. Like, one thing is with Neptune and Pisces, and being a Pisces, you know, you have to realize, like, you can take something like a person, a relationship, and truly continue to alter the prism of light to the way that you want it to see. It's weird because right behind me right here, see that light? It's kind of flickering because we have the frame rate, like, not probably perfect. So, like, there's this interesting element here of, like, you know, this constant, oh, well, no, it's on, no, it's flickering, no, it's not, right? Like, there's alterations always, and there's illusions, and there's adaptability that becomes like, okay, they're going this way now, I'm adapting, they're saying they are, and then no, it's not, and then it turns, and then that's why it's the two fish of unconsciousness and consciousness that keeps doing this, and it's the same cycle. If the same cycle has repeated itself a couple times, 3 times, it's not gonna stop as a Pisces. So no matter how much you want to hear that it maybe will change, there's something about Pisces in the 12th house and Neptune, and it is a cycle. It comes back. My cycle of nicotine comes back. Even when I tell myself, oh, I'm never doing nicotine again, that motherfucking cycle has come back. So I can lie to myself and say, oh yeah, fucking, I don't have a problem with that shit, but I do. So, like, and that's what I gotta work on. So, but to say that it won't ever come back, like if I put it away or it's fixed, no. I'm gonna know my whole rest of my life there'll be a battle with it. That cycle could come back. So if you're willing to deal with that cycle, or if you feel like that there's something that you feel that you deserve greater, then you need to make that call. Like if you enjoy that cycle, like if you like tumble dry low with no heat and you're always getting your clothes damp and wrinkled, but you have the option for a tumble dry at high heat with wrinkle protection guard on, fuck, those clothes are fluffed pretty nice and you can wear them out. All right.
I personally like to hang dry my my clothes.
I know, I'm a very, like, I need my clothes now, put it in the dryer, put it on, let's roll.
It's just so fresh, you know, just out there in the sun. It's taking in that heat and the energy. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Come on, you all know, right? You all know.
It reminds me of when I'm racing in my wetsuit and I'm like, yeah, I wash it and then I dry it out there. Yeah, but there's something where I'm like, if that shit was tumble dried with like a bounce or something in there and like a little fabric softener or something, and it's like, and like magically comes out crisp, like perfect, like I'm like, yeah, let's roll. All right. We got Jupiter return benefits. With Jupiter in Sag in the 10th house, this is about making big decisions in relationships and the benefits. But the 10th house, remember, is decisions on merit, decisions on integrity, and decisions on whether or not it's going to advance fully in your life forward and accomplishments be met in love. So this kind of goes to that last question of that person, which is like, if you're having issues with love and romance or the same patterns, like the choice you make is like, guess what? The benefits are only going to be of like, one, you'll get those same patterns back, you know, and if it's not of merit, if it's not integrity and it's not showing up in the way that you want to, like Jupiter will pay you if you make tough choices, Pisces. Like, believe it or not, that's a weird thing. Jupiter in the 10th is a weird thing. And that's the dignified position, because Pisces need to learn the biggest lesson. The biggest lesson is wherever Jupiter is in Sag for every zodiac sign. The biggest lesson in life for Pisces is to make hard decisions, is to put merit, integrity, and to actually stop staying in the same cycles and say, no, I'm doing this, and you get paid. Jupiter return, bam, benefits. This week in love, making hard choices are good benefits. And look at that. Your challenge card is the success card. Oof. So there's a lot of unsuccessful relationship stuff going on, and are you gonna make the choices that are leading to not success, or are you gonna really find success by making choices that lead to success? Are you really gonna make those tough calls? Especially you got the King of Swords. You need to communicate, and you need to be colder and more stern, and you need to be clear. You need to sit on the throne and this is a very iron throne because it is swords, it's colder, it's not emotional, and it's very clear on, hey, this is what needs to be done. King of Swords comes in the room and says, okay, there's 40 days worth of food in here, and there's 40 people, but you know what? Everybody that's eating 4 meals right now, you've just cut us down to 15 meals, and we're not gonna make it. And we have 40 days of sailing left to get to wherever we're sailing. That's the King of Swords. Like, here's the logic. Stop doing that. I know I sound like I'm an asshole. I know that you want to eat all your fucking potato chips, and I know that you want to eat 3 meals, but like, this is what it is saying, and this is what it is. And listen to me, or we're all dead, or we're all this. So there's a part of you having to step up and be like, you know what, and be honest with what you see and the facts. Stay from the facts, stay from what is this week leading to true success, and only go in that direction. Anything that is not factual anymore, anything that is you coming into a delusional state, anything that is you avoiding a big hard decision and just staying in the easy place is not going to be successful, and you are not stepping into your power, and you will not get the benefits that you truly need. And you did pull the water card. So look at that, water on success. You are watering out your success, or you are emotionally cleansing negative energy and cleansing to get your ultimate success. Or you are watering down like a bad bartender that doesn't really like you, that's watering down your drink. I used a Pisces, alcohol thing, even though I don't drink, but I used to drink. But
yeah, alcohol is disgusting. I hate that stuff.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that this is where, are you emotionally suppressing success, or are you emotionally embodying in success and love right now in your life? And are you really taking the right actions on that, or are you making the right moves, and are you thinking clearly about this or not? And you pulled the Virgo, which is your relationship house. You pulled the North, that was the South Node. And you pulled it in the 6th house. Wow. So your same day-to-day reality and patterns in life and schedule and the same situation is not to go to. You have to learn to go to a place you've never been before, a place that is really more magical and not deceiving. So anything that's deceiving is something that has said it was going to do something and then it's not doing it. Or you thought it was going to show you something and it didn't show you that. So you continue to hold that reality of that continually, and you got to stop that. You got to move now into a new direction that's about release, let go, surrender, and letting go of old patterns and stepping into God's world and letting God take this position over for you now. And watching the ultimate Jupiter return benefits come in your life. We got Capricorns next, Caps. And then or what do we have left? I think it's we have 2 left. We have Aries and Scorpio.
Oh, lovely.
The 2 Mars wanted to be last. I guess Mars is in last place now. It's behind the Sun, Mercury, Venus, everything.
What are we on right now? Cap?
Capricorns.
Let me see what's up with some Cap questions.
Yeah, this is
We definitely got a bunch of Aries and yeah. Okay. Here we go. So this cap is asking, if a past relationship is resurfacing right now, is it a good idea to explore this again or leave the past in the past? This relationship was definitely a roller coaster, highs and lows, pretty low lows, very high highs. And it's been 5 years with no communication at all. I've shifted and changed so much about myself and my life. So, is it possible to reunite and have a positive and healthy relationship? Anything's possible. It all depends if they've done the work as well to keep up with you.
I have 2 words. Do you know what they are?
Fuck no.
Alien babies. I've been saying alien babies for a long time. Creeping from the past. Trying to show up. Creepy crawlers trying to show up. Come back in. And go through old situations all over again. This is Uranus and Taurus. This is not about going backwards. It's about going forward into energy that you have never had before, that you have never felt before, that you have never experienced before. This is Jupiter in Sagittarius. This is Saturn in Capricorn with the South Node. This is old karmic situations that we do not want to go back into, that we are snipping. Alien babies are babies that jump into you, have control, and rip out of you whenever they want, and then they go, and then they kill you, and then they eat everything else around you. Like, I know it's a very harsh analogy, but it's like, there is something to say about this whole thing about alien babies. Like, because I'm using this about, like, you know, even if you understand the whole point of Alien and the alien babies, that's why I tell people to go watch the Alien series to understand it. I know some people are like, I don't want to watch that shit, it's scary or something. No, you're scared to watch it because you're afraid of understanding how alien energy it really is, and how it comes from the past, and how it comes from the creators, and how that they use that alien energy to come fucking into you and take away the souls that are not in divine energy of whatever that creator wanted. Like, there's some crazy shit about that. There's a lot. I mean, I can go on hours about that shit, but no, especially being a Capricorn, come on. Like, do you really, with Jupiter in your 12th house, are you really going to be that, like, that's Capricorn's crutch and weakness, is believing in something that doesn't work and is of the ultimate high spiritual path of a letting go of the past, because you always have to let go of the past in order to reach the top. You cannot try to keep attempting to go and reach your ultimate success, which, if you really want love and happiness and marriage, and that's what I'm assuming you want from this person, if you really think that in the past that you failed, like, you have to disconnect from that past, that was a failure. You don't rehire somebody back that you fired. It didn't work. All right, Cappies.
Someone just asked if there's an alien baby heaven. Is that?
Yes, there is an alien baby heaven.
Here we go.
And I would say that alien baby heaven would be at Epstein's Island.
No, he's probably in hell.
Exactly, that's the whole point.
Oh, look at you. Damn, just fucking, just right over my head. That was a good one. Good job.
Yeah. Oh,
Good job.
yeah. Okay.
Nice work.
We'll help this person out.
That's
Like,
good.
this is like if Epstein didn't get killed by Hillary Clinton or whatever, but if Epstein stayed alive and somehow got out of jail and came back and was like, "Hey, I'm good now. Like, let me take you to my island and show you that we're good."
No.
And by the way, Bill Clinton is taking his 26th flight here, so, and also the prince, I forgot his name, Prince whatever from England, the second son of Queen Elizabeth II.
That shit's all fucked up.
Fucking
Hopefully we
hangs out
find out
with
what
fucking
really happened
Epstein.
there.
He
Hopefully we
used to
find
hang
out what
with
really
Epstein
happened in
when it
Vegas.
went to-
Got a bunch of
As
questions.
I'm saying, there's an alien baby heaven, and their heaven is Epstein's fucking island, or even his New Mexico house where he was trying to genetically, see how my guides brought this up? Genetically, he was trying to create the ultimate race with his own genes.
Yeah, that shit's weird as fuck.
Do you want that alien baby?
No mas.
No, Capricorns, you all ready?
What a
Fifth
lovely
house,
segue.
creativity is a great card. Oh my gosh. This is the love card, love house, creativity, the Leo house. Especially with all this Virgo going on for Caps. This is about expansion. This full moon is also about new interesting aspects of new forms of creativity, new love, more alignment, love, energy that is more creative, that is more fun, that is more childlike. It's hard to take on a past situation and go back to a childlike feeling right away. It just never fully goes back to the way it was because it did come to an end, Like a good example would be, if you had a quarrel with somebody in school and you didn't like each other for a long time. I remember there was a couple guys that didn't like me in school. And then I saw them at like my high school graduation or 10-year anniversary or whatever that was when I'm my 20s coming up actually soon.
I'll be a reunion for 25, Bob.
What?
Be reunion.
I know, I'm almost up to my 20th reunion. But the whole thing is, it never just feels like the original part because there was some quarrel, there was some energy. Like this is saying like go into exciting, creative, loving, dramatic, fun, new force of feeling and happiness and find that joy. This is a great card to have for you this week, Capricorn. Your challenge card you got is the energy card. Don't have energy be draining from you because it's not a fun and creativity and it's draining. If you're having energy that's draining you, you need to get the fuck out. If this is just draining and it's not fun and it's not creative and you don't want to show it off, there's drama here always in the fifth house. But it's like if you wouldn't walk this person down the red carpet because they're energetically not in your vibration, like run. And I know that it might be a really hard situation for you because the energy that it will take to leave will feel like it will take everything, but they are vampiring all of your energy. And you pulled the Page of Wands reversed. So yeah, this is definitely not believing in situations that you want to see happen. This is about getting the truth of what's real and dealing with it. And if it's good, it's good. But this is not about trying to turn something that has been bad or reversed of a positive message or a message of love or a message of positivity and turning that all upside down. And it's not really what it is. It's like a counterfeit note. It's like, oh yeah, here's a $100 bill. It's like, oh great. And then you fucking look at it and it's not the real thing. That's any page reversed, but Page of Wands is like, here's my heart. I love you. It's like, it's not real though. You had a good idea of it, page, but it was reversed. And then it got there and it delivered the message. And it was like, actually, I just saw you. And actually, I'm not going to say anything. But like, I don't really know if I'm really ready for this. That could be you or that could be somebody towards you. We pulled the message card as the overall card. So the message is the energy that is being taken away from you. So you can fly, and if you let go of that cord, of that energy that is stealing and energetically not in alignment with you, so you can fly back again. And this message is trying to come clear with the Page of Wands reversed, that it is about learning to disconnect from energy that is no longer serving you, and truly not even love, like not even that beautiful either energetically. It probably doesn't even like attract you. There's something weird, like it's more about trying to just like accomplish this long-term longevity of accomplishment, or that I was able to do it, or I put in my best effort, or I gave it a good go, Gipper. Yeah, with that, is that the award you want? Man, this ninth house has popped up a lot. Virgo, and we got the sun there. So the sun, Virgo, ninth house, it's exactly where all the planets are for you with the sun. This is about expanding and getting out of old environments that are confusing and environments that don't make sense and no logical sense. And this is about realizing that you need to be analytically opening up new doors and new realities. Because Capricorn can get very set in stone, like, this is what it is. I made my choice in my life. Well, open up a little bit of new doorways and experience new realities and see what's there instead of staying in the combustion of the confusion and the chaos. And with the square to Jupiter in the 12th house, you are in a chaotic situation where your environment is not meeting the experience that you want to go. And the messages that are coming to you or the truth that is coming to you, you either want to listen to or you're being deceived with people who are trying to say that everything's good when it's not. Romantically. Somebody could try and say that about me or to you right now, but that's not the truth.
Scorp or Aries?
Scorp or Aries.
Isn't that just...
Yeah, well, what's up with that? Why are these two last
ain't
after
that
today?
Ain't that just hilarious?
I just think that's... Yeah, there's so many signs today.
I know.
9-19-19, Scorpio.
Scorp.
All
Ain't no
right.
party like a Scorpio party.
You better, there better be a fucking Scorpio question or it looks like you're getting screwed on these readings.
I've got like 50 Scorpio questions.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of all of them?
Dude, there's a shitload. All right, so this gentleman, it's an interesting question we got here, my friend.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So he has a unique question for us. He's 33, a certified marriage counselor, was a chaplain assistant in the Army, which he served 8 years. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your service.
And he's still a virgin. I've given people relationship advice since high school. My problem is I've never been on a real date myself. My love goal is to find a girl, and he's even lowered himself to using dating apps and websites. You shouldn't do that. There's amazing people on those. But what can someone do to like get that date to like approach women? Pretty much, she's having issues. He says he's average looking, decent weight, pretty intelligent. So I think it comes down to almost like the confidence in himself. And I don't know. What's your take on that? It's an interesting one.
I heard the word normal in there, which I didn't think.
Average.
Yeah, in average, which that's not what people want. Especially if it's a Scorpio.
Well, I think he's just saying that, like, he, you know what
no,
I mean?
I understand
like,
when
he's
he.
like, yeah,
I
he's just
understand,
like a normal dude.
but when you start going to that level, and it's nothing wrong. I actually feel for this guy, and I'm not going to deliver no hard blows because I think that it's just about owning more of that. You're not normal. Like what makes you unique? Why don't you show that? So I had to learn this lesson the hard way because I dealt with rejection my whole life at the beginning. Like literally all the first relationships I tried, like I was rejected. It was like, oh my God. And I was like, I need to find my uniqueness. What makes me unique instead of me trying to like be looking at everybody else and start like understanding what the field of everybody else is doing. It was like, what if I just step into my own energy? And with Scorpio, there needs to be a little bit of edge. That's what attracts things, right? So why do you think like lingerie attracts men? Right? Like there's something about it that's edgy. Like Hanes, Fruit of the Looms, does not attract. Sorry to say. It's normal. It's just like that's pajama shit. And I don't know, I'm from California. I don't even think they fucking sell that shit unless you have to go to like Kohl's or something.
Or Ross, they definitely got it at Ross.
Yeah, and I don't even think they carry that. They at least carry fucking like Calvin Klein and shit now.
I like boxer briefs.
Yeah, boxer briefs, exactly. But like they'll carry Calvin Klein or fucking Tommy Hilfiger or something. So it's about edge. Like find your edge. What makes you edgy instead of normal and average?
Yeah, what is it? Your niche is what
That's
gets you
it.
rich?
Like everything else, you're gonna be fine, man, because
Sounds like a great person.
yeah, you sound awesome. I just think it's just about, don't focus on that. Focus on like yourself and focus on, well, what is me and what makes me unique and different? Don't be afraid to put it out there. As a Scorpio, you gotta remember, Scorpios are attractors. So, you know, like, well, I'll use an assessment of Craig. Like Craig's edgy. He's got long hair. He's badass. He's fun. You know, there's something that's like, you know, girls are like, dude, that fool's Jesus, or that fool's, you know, that guy's got, I hear the women swoon. Whenever him and I go out, they're like, who's your friend? I'm like, oh, it's like Craig, you know? And there's that edge, and he's not afraid to show off whatever that edge is into himself, you know? And he'll call things spade to spade. Like, there's another thing about Scorpio that's like raw, authentic, and real, right? So like, if it feels, a Scorpio cannot attract if they start playing the, I'm going to try and be like everyone else in a weird way. that doesn't work because it can't attract. So Scorpio energy needs to stand out a little bit and be bold. Now, I have seen the most white of like energy light Scorpios that you would never guess they're a Scorpio. That's how I'll know it's a Scorpio. I'll be like, this person looks like too white, light, perfect. And then then you can tell like this person's edgy as fuck. They're probably a Scorpio. You know what I mean? So, but if you're sitting in the normal or average and you're in the middle, you need to choose which side you're on, you know? Usually and what's funny with Scorpios, usually the edgiest one looking are the most white light inside, and the ones that are the most white light inside have the edgiest on the inside that you don't see.
Yeah, they're residing on the dark side of the moon.
Ah! All right.
Got another quick one, though.
All right, yeah.
I like this question.
Did you buy a reading from me fucking on the sale?
I was thinking about it. How can Scorpio reclaim our power and also keep an open heart to all possibilities, all while staying true to ourselves?
Say that one. That one's like a very...
You like that one?
That one doesn't feel like it needs an answer, but...
How do we reclaim back our power, but with also keeping our heart open to all possibilities?
Reclaim power from like what, though?
Past traumas.
Oh, okay.
Past relationship traumas. I'm just assuming. I'm just throwing that in there from past experiences.
Okay.
I'll just add that in there. How do we reclaim our power from getting fucked over, but having an open heart, also, and being open to any possibility and letting love come back into our life?
Well, being Scorpio is completely obliterating the connection, to it. So like full snip, full cut, letting go of the jealousy or the anger or the rage or the attachment, because you can't bring anything in if you're still filled, even though you don't have it in your life. If the emotional cup is still filled as a fixed emotional sign, if there's still a bunch of Sprite in here and I want to fill it with some water, I got to drink the whole Sprite and then fucking put in the water. So, you know, there's a part too of like, to regain power, like believe it or not, it's in your mind, because Capricorn is the ruler of your third house as a Scorpio. So it's about where are you spending your time and your stimulation, and have you found something of accomplishment that is stimulating to you, like some sort of goal or some sort of, you know, thing of success that keeps you stimulated to go. Like look at Larry King. That guy was what marriage did he just fucking get divorced out of?
I believe 8.
His 8th one?
Yeah.
I think he's 90 and he's like getting divorced still. Like,
you must really hate somebody to get a divorce when you're that old.
Hey, or you know what? He knows how to get his power back every time, like by just being Larry King. He's still doing his show off like CNN and all that shit, but he's doing it on his own. He owns his power, and if it doesn't work out, he disconnects, and I guess he fucking finds his power and keeps doing what he does, and then he fucking finds the next one and just takes it on and fucking he rides it out till the end. Like that's being a Grim Reaper. Like, are you just gonna only look at the death of things, or are you gonna ride things out until finally the Grim Reaper shows up? And then you're like, okay, it showed up. Okay, next thing. Like, yeah, kind of like, I think as a Scorpio, you have to be like when the Grim Reaper shows up. It's like, I guess that was my karmic debt of like what I had to go through. There's something new gonna come in if I allow this to the Grim Reaper to just cut it out. And that's where you get your power, is by like joining the Grim Reaper and being like, do you need an extra push with that big old fucking whatever you call it, that big old...
Oh, they cut the wheat with?
Yeah, or chopping people's heads off.
Yeah, or that too.
Like...
I'd have to say then, I got to give myself a little pat on the back then for the amount of work that I've done, because I was there, Scorpio that sent in that question. I was where you are right now. And it just takes time, and it's knowing your self-worth, and it's really looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, not necessarily like, what did I do wrong, but like what aspects in myself attracted that energy that may have wronged you, and saying, I'm not going to do that shit anymore, and like honing and owning your power within. So it just takes time with everything.
Yeah, it takes time. Well, let's see what the Scorpio reading has to say. The first card that we got for Scorpios is the Capricorn card. How funny I brought up to get your power back as you Capricorn. This is definitely a time for you to, where are you utilizing your energy and love of communication? This is about communication. This is about speaking up about what you exactly want. And I think that this week you get power, that it's about what you're using. Are you using your energy the right way mentally and with stimulation? Stimulation is a big thing, right? Like being stimulated in life is one huge thing, right? But there's another thing where it's like, are you taking life and are you actually using your energy right now that's conducive to creating the love and the happiness you want in your life? You might be wasting energy in something right now. Like, this is third house, like where, you know, you can become, all right now, people don't realize that wherever Pluto and Saturn are for the sun signs, secretly you are playing out that sign of the house that it rules for you. So right now, all the secret Geminis are Scorpios. And I can go down the whole list, but it's pretty simple. Just do the fucking math. Or go to highvibe.tv. So right now, Scorpios are secret Geminis who are playing two roles of stimulation and two personalities. And it's like, which personality is truly not wasting your time and leaving you feeling empty? Where's the personality that's not leaving you empty? Continue in that space and communicate to lovers and people in love situations from that person, not from the stimulated person that's actually empty and trying to get something from that space, because bringing that person into that Gemini like twin ain't gonna work. It's from the one that's, you do something and it keeps filling you up, that's the one to communicate from. Ooh, that's a lot to think about. You got the purity card. See, the chart, I think that's the hard part. This dualistic nature that you're going through right now and the energy you use, if it's not from a pure space right now, it's the challenge. It's not filling you up in happiness. So that's not going to attract the love that you want. So this is coming from a more, pure space of like, what is pure in your life? What brings you life? And what kind of leaves you without life? Like you use energy, you give it, and then it gives you nothing back except for the amount of time that's very like slow. Like what about all energy coming back to you? That's a Scorpio. Yeah. And it's got to come from a more pure state of yourself. And now that's a delusional, hard thing in the challenge position, because as a dualistic nature that Scorpio is playing out right now through the astrology, it's easy to see the pure side in all aspects of yourself right now. But this is where you have to be a black and white discerner of like, no, this is actually not pure of me. This is not really who I am. I'm actually like playing this role to stimulate myself. It doesn't really play a good role. I know the role that is not, good for me. And I know the role that is good for me, that is pure, that is delivering me everything back and always does. And I don't have to put that much in. Like I don't have to put that, I don't have to give in. It always keeps returning back the favor. You get the world card reversed. So yeah, there's definitely a check this week in love. Like, is this really the world that it's supposed to go to? Is it, something isn't done yet. Something hasn't completed yet. Somebody, but you're kind of at the line where you're like, if this world doesn't go the way I want to, and I kind of need to know if this is complete or moving into the world we want to, like this is a portal week for Scorpios. Like, is this going to be the world or is this not going to be the world? And I think that you have to draw the lines, and there's that purifying place. Like, is it pure? Is that energy of that other person pure? And are they willing to go into that world together? I think this is what needs to be communicated. Like, is this done or is it not? Are we going to move into a new place or not? Like, this cannot be so all over the place. With the overall card being spiritual vice, jealousy. I just think that this isn't bad. I think that this is just saying that there is this unpurified self that you're playing two roles right now. So when you're when you're in more of a toxic vibe this week, that's when you don't want to communicate from that space, because it's going to come out of like not the right energy. It could bring out jealousy, or it could be upset. This is going to be a week about learning how to stay in your purified space and only communicate about what world you want to go to with happiness and love, and to the right person, and to achieve what you want and communicate by staying in the pure space. But if you're not in a pure space, it'll seem like you're coming across jealous or not of the right nature, and that could cause problems and challenges. And I think that that's a thing in yourself that you're going to work on. And if you do that work correctly and put out the right pure space and show the real true self that's not in that negative space or not in that space of stimulation that doesn't truly really fill you up. I talked about this in the Astrology Guide 2019 magazine about, go read it, Scorpio again. Bam, you will get everything that you ever wanted. So, and if you're coming from a place of wanting something just because you're jealous of maybe their actions or that you don't have it because of jealousy, that's not a pure space to come from. And that's where you need to work on that. This needs to come from the pure achievement of stimulation of good and the world that you want to open the portal to, not one to fix a minor lower vibrational situation. Oh, at least it didn't go too far. All right, Virgo, Saturn. This is the first Saturn we got in the 11th house. Well,
Saturn party.
So a lot of this is like reminding yourself that who you hang around with is everything. One, the friends that you hang around, the 11th house, and with Saturn there, it's like, you know, the people you're around are going to create, especially with this 11th house, right? The reality that will either be successful and achieving, or right now, if you're hanging around energy and it's not pure energy and they're not people that are really in the same reality as you, you're not going to get much. So you have to discern in love this week about like, is this energy where I'm going with this person in love that actually is a world and a reality that will take me to a great place? And are they in a good pure space? Or am I hanging around energy and people and are their people and their connection actually pulling me down my other self that's not that pure, that keeps being in just a stimulation, but it doesn't really deliver me fully? There's something fuller, there's something more pure, and it's not, that's the whole part that's hard with Pluto and Saturn and South Node right now in the 3rd house for Scorpios is it's like extreme Gemini, like I am stimulated to the highest core, but I now need to re-stimulate again, and I need to re-stimulate again. It's that person that constantly needs this re-stimulation that can't find that just, I have it, and it's fully satisfied me. Because that's why the North Node is in Cancer in your 9th. Of fully, Scorpio is not meant to chase energy. It's meant to own it and receive it and transmute it into something beautiful.
Man, I tell you what, I'm happy though that that I did work through all that shit and that it is back behind me. But it does touch on, like how you said, the people that surround you and like the friends you keep, because there's no way that I would have been able to be where I am at this point right now without the people that were in my life. You know, yourself, you know, Kim, McGee, Abby, Susan, Dentino, we mentioned before, Starry Ari, like those women helped me big
Dylan,
time
Sarah.
energetically, you know. What was that?
I said Dylan and Sarah.
Yeah, but this is before them, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
When it was going down.
Yeah, when everything was going down at the beginning of the year, end of last year and everything. During the Venus retrograde, actually. But yeah, no, it really is. Like, if you have that strong foundation of people that you can really count on, you know, that have that love for you and that will do anything there to help you, it's a beautiful thing to have in your life. So, very grateful to have people there.
That's what it's all about. We all have to have each other, and that's why like high vibes here, and like we have a lot. I mean, I can't believe actually I can believe, but it's like, you know, Craig and I have been talking over the last 2 weeks about, you know, restructuring a lot with high vibe. It was a lot for us to get this thing going, but now like, I mean, we're having thousands of people show up on lives. Like the community element is what we are focused on, and there's a lot of people building communities out there, and that's going to be great. And I'm all about everybody building communities. So we just want to let you know that this is how this community is, and there's so much we have to offer that we're really looking for help. We're looking for people who want to be part of this community to really help lift this thing off the ground, because we can't do it alone. Like, it's just me, Abby, and Craig. Like, and then of course there's all the talent that's on High Vibe as well. But as far as like the foundational running the whole thing, like we're, you know, pretty scarce. Like, you know, so like we have Anne that's shown up. We have, you know, there's a lot of great people, and all that. I'm not trying to discredit anybody on the app because they are holding it down in the community. But like behind the scenes right now, like, you know, we're really looking for who's on, like, wants to be part of the team and stuff like that. So it's a pretty intense time right now. And I don't want to say that we're discerning, but, you know, we got to make sure that people are really in, and people that are really in a good space. Like, it took us a long time to weed out energies that were actually causing disruption that took a long time to figure out.
Yeah, and I
it's
just
like, I don't
noticed
think
that.
we want to go through that again.
Yeah, I just noticed that my microphone was off during that whole thing. So again, what I was saying though is that it comes down to the people in your life, what David said, and like having that love and support. It's a beautiful thing. So if you didn't hear me before, I just wanted to thank you, Abby and Kim and Starry and Susan and yourself, David. But yeah, having that strong feminine energy, like that I had available while I was going through a devastating point in my life, it's great. It's great. And it took a lot of work, but I'm so happy for where I am right now. And like anybody that's going through that shit, I feel for you. And it just takes time. Just keep putting in that work and just keep knowing your worth and like how fucking beautiful you actually are. So you'll get there.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point that it's like when you think about it too, when you get help from friends or people, like you have to be discerning, and are those people in a good space? Because like it's easy to run to people when shit happens, but it's like, that's why the 11th house is acquaintances and friends. So it's like, doesn't mean that you have to like bail on your buddy that you've been friends with for 20 years. Like maybe he's not the best person at the moment, or she's the best friend right now at the moment for what you're going through. They might be going through something that they can't hold you up fully, but they can hold you up in a couple convos or maybe a couple nights where you hang out with them and remind of old memories. But like ground troops on the ground that are gonna be there for you at the moment, like they have to be in a good space and be willing to really support in a clear way and want the best for you fully and are willing to go through it all with you, like the whole thing. And so like this is a time for people to really make sure that people like are really got their back, or just like, are they just kind of like jumping in and out whenever they want, and they're using it to maybe use their own story that they just want to talk about instead of like really be there and purely help you, you know? And anyway, I was just putting out like a SOS, positive SOS, not like the ship's falling, but like the ship at High Vibe is when Saturn goes direct here next week. Well, it's 9 days away. So yeah, next week. Like this ship's ready to take off into 2020. And, you know, it's been weird because today, especially yesterday, a lot of people who know their mission is to be part of this. This is not like a Leo King thing. Like this is like a community High Vibe thing, and people who really want to see the tools that High Vibe has created and go on the ship to raise the vibration. And the people that are feeling called have been showing up lately. And if you feel called to that, you know, just know that we're a little discerning. I mean, we have to be, but like, don't attack us when we don't write back to you right away. Like sometimes it takes us a minute. There's a natural cycle to life, and there's a right timing in things. So just know that, you know. But I know that there is others that are out there that are part of this, and I know they're all
coming with us.
They're coming with us, and I know there's a lot of empty seats right now on the boat. And, you know, I think, you know, this is kind of the new world and the new structure too. I think a lot of people are thinking, like, and I'm just being very open tonight. I always am open, but, you know, I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, like, you can't look at this place as a savior for you. That's the problem. If I see somebody wanting to work here, it's because they think it's going to be their savior. It's like, no, we're not here. High Vibe is not here to save people that are going to be on the ship. We're the people that are using the ship to save people. So, like, when it comes to monetary aspect, people don't understand the monetary aspect of how this all works. Like, it's not so much about like, okay, I just work and I get paid. No, it's like we build projects and we put it out there. We build events and you get paid more than you would hourly by actually using all the tools, you know? Like instead of this old paradigm of career of like, I'll just show up and get paid to just walk around and use the bathroom and sit around. Like there's tools here that would make magic. And they're just waiting to be used. And I know there's the right people to fill these positions, but, you know, the savior complex thing, I have that. I'm a 5/1 in human design. So like people come to me as like I'm a savior. And that's a hard life for me because like, sure, with readings and stuff, I will give you what you need to hear and everything, but I also can't like save you fully. And then when it comes to wanting to be part of this ship and high vibe, like I can't save you by just bringing you into high vibe on the ship because you feel like you need to be saved. This will save you. If that's your energy, it's going to automatically feel like, sorry, like that's not what it is. So I just want to put that out there.
So we have an Aries question to round off this 3-hour, 11-minute show at the moment. Commitment, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently Aries are having a hard time finding love, or at least she is. She wants to know if there's some type of astrological block that's going on for the Aries collective. Or if it's just a passing moment, a passing ship in the night.
There's definitely a block going on with Aries because Neptune is there in Pisces. And now here's a full moon on it. And this is going to be the week and into next week with Saturn direct, with the South Node, and with Neptune and Jupiter square, that you will be revealed of what your block is that is holding you back. Like there has been a major setback, and Chiron is also in your sign, so you are feeling weird. You've never felt this because we didn't discover Chiron until 1977 of consciousness-wise. So there's Chiron's in your sign, like, and then Neptune's in your 12th, and then you know there's Jupiter in the 9th squaring the 12th. It's enhancing this major subconscious elements of your own setbacks, your own, you know, even deception to yourself or to others, your own non-alignment spiritually of your true beliefs, like acting out beliefs but not really doing them, I'll be honest. And the weird aspect of always that you can no longer just run off the identification of how you think that you should present yourself, that it's wounded and it won't draw in the energy anymore or the attention that you need. That it's the vulnerability of yourself and letting go of that identification that you've had of yourself and your true spiritual self showing up and the true beliefs. And let's see what those really are, and let's see if you can really show that on the table in reality. Boom. All right, Aries. Leo card. Yeah, you pulled this one before. This is a good card. This is a good card this week for you of your real willpower coming out. But you know, with love and happiness and heart, it's your pure self, like your pure heart and happy self. It's a great week if you're in that pure self. Leo, believe it or not, sure, it likes to show off, but it shows off its true authentic self. It's not showing off some sort of identity or ego. It's just showing off its love. It's just showing off its purity. It's just showing off its will of what it's here to create, what it's here to show love with. And I think that this is you having to be back into your shining energy of your love, because you did get the magic card as your challenge. And I think that, you know, magic is not happening to you because you're not showing up fully with the true will. And even like, you might be showing up for more of and it was funny, I used savior complex earlier. It wasn't even about Aries. But yeah, I would say that, you know, magic is not going to save the day. I think that you keep thinking this magic out of nowhere is just going to show up. Leo is hard because you have to love yourself and you have to trust in your own ability to create. And you have to go create it. Like this was not created just like out of nowhere. Like this has been fucking a long time. A lot of people, a lot of readings, a lot, like 10,000 videos. Like, you know, like fucking, it's a lot. The magic happens when you show up with that will and that true will and it's got to be truth of your true heart. Me letting go of the reality star guy and turning into the Leo King was a very hard process of like, I'm going to embody being an astrologer and not a reality show star or a touring DJ or, you know, like those ego things, right? Like the magic happens when you let the true heart and self out. And believe it or not, like people tell me all the time, like, oh, that's so much, what you do is so much cooler than fucking what I thought was cool, which was being a reality star and being a touring DJ. Like, it's weird. It was like, I did exactly who I am and owned it. And even though there was a part of me that's what I loved the most, I kept attaching it to wanting to see magic through this other magical doorway that really was really subconscious and not me. And this is what you're going through. You did pull the 10 of Wands reversed. You have way too many projects going on. You have way too many things that you are trying to get off the ground, but you're actually not doing them, one. Two, you think that you have too much weight when really you don't. The weight on your shoulders is really that you don't have much weight, that you have like tried to take everything off and you're expecting all this magic to happen, but you're not showing up with anything. It's almost like you're just hoping that magic's gonna, literally this is proof that you're just hoping that just fucking pie's gonna fly from the sky and just show up and on your lap. And I'm sorry to say that Aries, like, no, you gotta show up. You gotta step up and you gotta take more responsibility now in your life. Because 10 of Wands is like the responsibility to bring in happiness and love and joy. You think you have so much weight on your shoulders, you have zero weight. You've created it to where you have so much weight because you've avoided the weight in which that you still need to carry of your true self and the magic that you need to bring of your true authentic heart and your true authentic self, which is causing a lot of disruption in love. And there could be a lot of deception there because you project that everything is so heavy when the truth is, you know, there's really not that much going on. And friendship, you know, with the magic. It's like, are you really coming from a good space? Friendship comes from a real authentic, true space, and they know how to cross in different lanes, but come together. And I feel that you're almost wanting everybody to only cross into your lane and you not cross into their lane with this. And I think that's the block, and I think that's what's going on with the magical issue is you want magic to show up to you, but you don't want to show up to magic. And you have to show up to magic with your own heart, and you need to let go of your burdens that actually, like the burdens that you think you have, this is another form of the 10 of Wands reversed. The burdens that you think you're carrying are actually not your burdens. It's the things that you think are not burdens that you're still holding on to that you think are not are the burdens. It's like you have created the projection of burden through situations that you know you need to let go of. And you've projected them as non-burdens when really the burden is that you are not getting to this core source of true happiness. And you're afraid of what that looks like. You're afraid of what it looks like to actually step into power, to actually step into your true heart and see what it's like. No more can you play the projection game, and no more can you just wait for shit to just show up into your lane. You have to show up and meet everybody else and intersect at the same time. You have to be in the world, you have to be in the connection, and you have to free yourself to magic instead of restrict yourself to it. Aries pulled the 10th house, Scorpio, Venus. Okay, so yeah, this is a transformational experience going on. Venus is pretty stressed in Scorpio and in the 10th house because it is not happy there. But there is this ability to attain your deeper desires and the change that you want in your life, but you have to make a plan, and more importantly, you need to be more honest, and you also need to make some cuts, and you need to make some changes big time with the projects you're doing, how you use money, debt. There's a lot of things going on as well when it comes to, you know, are you restricting yourself from the world? Like, and you're only like working, or you're only working and projecting that you're working, but you're really not even working, you know? Like, you're just kind of in your own little weird world, like, kind of like you're projecting this reality that you're high up when really underneath you don't feel that way. And that's not going to attract in what you want, you know? Like, you need to show integrity, and you need to be willing to be trustworthy and allow energy to come in and express your energy out and receive. But it's almost like you are going against receiving, and that's so ironic. You want to receive, but you don't put yourself in a position to receive right now because it only can be in your own way, and that's not going to work. Well, it was a great show. I had a great time. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Make sure you check out theleoking.com. I have that sale going on right now, which is really rare because I will not be doing my daily reading or my personal readings like this again. I'm going to triple the rate and just do an hour reading and have an emergency reading and a yearly coaching, and that's it. And I'm doing that just because, one, I got to spend more time on this ship of high vibe and put out more content and create better content and make the app. And there's a lot of work that I have to do. And I am not going to be able to do readings. So I figured it's pre-2020. This is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. And as I come into the new decade, I'm changing my schedule. That is what Pluto and Saturn are asking me to do. And so before that conjunction happens, this is it. I've set my schedule open. Before the 2020, this is your last chance to get a reading with me for 30 minutes. I'll never do that again. And for an hour. And I have got a 15% discount from already my normal rates down. And then I'm tripling the rate, literally. And then and that's only just a way so people won't book with me, you know? Unless you really want to, then it's there. But it's for those that really I guess if you got the means, and I know that might sound shitty, but like I'm just not gonna be, I'm gonna be helping in this way. And so this is I have to do this for God, like at the end before 2020. So also the school's on sale to learn astrology and with the e-commerce spiritual business school. It's all combined. It's over 4 whole courses. There's a lot of videos. It's like 50 hours of content plus. And that's on sale as well at theLeoKing.com. Anyway, and join us on highvibe.tv. The new weekly horoscopes are up. My daily video, of course, and my weekly sun sign, and of course the weekly intuitive and weekly tarot. We love you so much. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Craig, big time.
Hey, thank you, David.
And thank you out there for making High Vibe great and helping us out by being a part of High Vibe, which helps us in return create this content for free to help everybody share this and show it to the world. But, you know, at one point, the ship might have to take away from YouTube and go on its own world, you know, like if not enough people come to High Vibe, you know. So that's what's keeping it going. And believe it or not, doing these readings is what is keeping this place together. And I can't live that way anymore. It's just, that's 10 years of, it's a lot to hold this all up. So I love you all very much, and I'll see you on the next report. And please share this.